walked over to the Senate by the House impeachment managers just a short time ago.
Resolved that Alejandro Nicolas Mayorkas, Secretary of Homeland Security of the United States of America, is impeached for high crimes and misdemeanors.
House impeachment manager Mark Green reading the charges, including willfully violating immigration laws. Fox's Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill.
This is a scene not witnessed on Capitol Hill in 148 years. The Senate asked by the House to sit in judgment of a cabinet secretary. Clay Higgins of Louisiana will prosecute the case before the Senate.
Secretary Mayorkas has not only betrayed the trust of the American people, his service as secretary has left a scar on our nation's soul that may never be removed.
It's a split screen for Mayorkas. He testified this morning before the very committee which impeached him. Republicans are now pushing Democrats to conduct a full trial, but Democrats suggest they may terminate the trial almost as quickly as it began.
The Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says impeachment shouldn't be used to settle a policy dispute. Pro-Palestinian protesters sending a message to President Biden in Pennsylvania.
Stop funding genocide. President Biden, you can't hide.
This as the president kicks off 3 days of campaigning in the battleground state, beginning in his hometown, Scranton.
I learned that no one's looking for a handout. All anybody wants is a fair shot at making, and they deserve a fair shot.
Contrasting his tax policies with former President Trump today, while the former president is back in a New York courtroom for day 2 of his hush money-related trial, where many potential jurors have been dismissed so far, some with scheduling issues, others saying they can't be impartial. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? It's the gentle sound of a waterfall on your hike. And if you were here, you'd take a deep breath of fresh air if you weren't so winded. But you're not here, because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. And the bugs you wipe from your headlights are all the nature you need. So if you ride, see if you could save with Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Get an online quote in as little as 3 minutes. All from the great indoors. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
You know, since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been committed to supporting our nation's first responders and veterans. They support America's heroes like U.S. Army Major Jonathan Turnbull. Now, Major Turnbull sustained devastating injuries at the hands of an ISIS suicide bomber. Tunnel to Towers gave him a specially adapted smart home designed for his needs. Join Tunnel to Towers. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month so this great work continues. Their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Rough. That ball is unfreaking believable. We're on the radio. We're on right now. Clay's just joining us there. There we go. 303. Look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer. Now, we just start when we want because, we got Pete and Flounder and special guest Clay Travis, right? And on the controls. Yeah, baby. How's it going? It's Tuesday, and we're just chatting. We were chatting here before going on the air. Clay Travis joining us, we were just listening to him the last 3 hours and so forth with your partner, of course, Buck. Anyway, welcome aboard. And you're on the way to Seattle, so I know you're going to get out of here, so we really appreciate it. Can you stay 15 minutes or something?
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. Appreciate you guys carrying the show. You guys do fantastic work. And
that's an easy setup.
I wish the Braves. I wish the Braves. Well, I wish the Braves. We try to do our best. I wish the Braves were in town. My family, big Braves fans. We're going to be back down in June. I've got the 3 boys, and we watch the Braves every night. Yeah, so it feels weird to be looking out at the stadium and not have them being able to play. But I got to go to Seattle late tonight. I'm going to touch down. That's not a fun flight. Hopefully I don't get arrested. And then we'll see how things go. But yeah, no, it's going to be chaotic. It's one of those things that I know you experience it. You guys experience it. There's almost nothing that could happen where I would say, oh, that's unbelievable. Yeah. We're living in like a post-precedent crazy world. And so I think, every time I pick up my phone and check and see what the news is, there's almost nothing that could occur that I would say this is unbelievable.
I'm a baby boomer. So the last time the media had a real big effect on world politics and so forth was 60s and 70s, the hippie movement, the Vietnam War, the civil rights. I mean, that whole period of those several years was a giant media thing too, because the press then was trying to go after people, and they went after Nixon. The media was a whole different thing than it is now for a different reason. Here's a problem I have. I'm old enough to remember what this country was like growing up in the 50s, and I don't think most people have any idea the importance of what we're going through right now. This country has never gone through anything like this, and the laws that that hopefully will come, or the acknowledgement of what the laws mean that may come out of all this nonsense will be the most important cases in the history of the country. I mean, the most important things we've ever done in this country.
Well, I'm cautiously optimistic, speaking on that the Supreme Court hearing that they had today on the way that Sarbanes-Oxley has been applied to the January 6th, I think, political protesters, frankly, some of them political prisoners, has the ability to potentially reconcile some of this lawlessness. Thankfully, we saw the Supreme Court say 9-0, you can't take Trump off the ballot.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, but who even thought, for God's sakes, I mean, roll this back real quick. You were telling me that some girl who's Secretary of State of Idaho can say, that damn Trump, he's a freaking insurrectionist. I'm not letting him on the ballot, and that would work?
That's what they thought.
Who thought they could get away with that?
MSNBC
Seriously.
viewers, Rachel Maddow fans. I mean, they really thought that there was going to be, and I give credit to the Supreme Court for them to come back and do it 9-0. I think that was important. I hope they get.
I couldn't believe. I thought Justice Bippity Boppity Boo and the stupid girl both. I thought it was going to be 7-2. I mean, honestly, for sure. I'm glad it was 9-0.
It was fantastic that it was 9-0. I hope that it's at least 6-3, striking down this use of the Sarbanes-Oxley obstruction charge, which is
that was a business. That wasn't meant for politics.
It's a joke, and I thought Gorsuch actually did a great job saying, hey, has this been applied for anybody out there who was shutting down any other public proceeding? In theory, if someone screams during a Supreme Court oral argument, they could face 20 years in prison because they're trying to shut down an official proceeding. So obstruct the official proceeding. And certainly what we're seeing, I got to go to the airport tonight. Hopefully there's not going to be any Palestinian protesters blocking my way. But you saw that in Chicago. You saw it in San Francisco. You're seeing it all over the country. These guys got to get thrown in the jail and stay there.
Not only that, this is a bunch of crap. I mean, all these Jew haters all of a sudden coming out of the woodwork from everywhere. And I guarantee you, 90% of those people who were locking themselves into the bridges and stalling the cars and everything else and don't give a crap about the actual issue of really what's happening there. These are professional protesters. These are professional haters. When I lived in for NBC and KON in San Francisco for a couple of years in the 80s, and the same people showed up all the time, the same places. They're professionals. They're doing it. It was organized. I mean, this is unbelievable. I mean, so please let's not overreact to what this really means. But I'm flabbergasted that hundreds of thousands of Democrats who hate Jews, those are all Democrats protesting, those aren't Republicans protesting. How could a Jewish person vote for these people?
I asked that question. I think, unfortunately, there is a certain element of you pick your team and you will do anything to defend that team at a certain point in time. But you went, I love that you say you were in San Francisco in the 80s, because I'm flying to Seattle tonight. If you just visit Seattle, San Francisco, Portland, three of the most beautiful places on the planet. Not even just in the United States. Geographically beautiful.
Back then, in the 80s.
Well, they've all been destroyed by left-wing politics. You can't go down the main street
of any of those main cities anymore. Campouts and
they had to shut down the Nike signature store in Portland that, they're based, I think, right there in Beaverton. And Phil Knight... finally got the founder of Nike finally got so fired up he was giving money like crazy to the Republican candidates out there, but they can't blame anybody else. And they're making their own choices, and the choices are leading to disaster.
Well, and by the way, let's say the elephant in the room. I don't know if we can be your friend because you might be arrested any minute now. But these federal. And by the way, what a bunch of crap! The federal Gestapo of investigation. And a couple of quick things. And they don't want to hear me; they want to hear you talk. But this is really important. This trial with Donald Trump, and you talked about the jury nullification. This comes up. They held the OJ jury. I mean, we could talk about jury nullification all over the place. The reason it's important in this case is because this is not a real trial. This is not real life. This is a political hatchet job. This is not actual honesty and a true court of law. Therefore, I say screw you. And if I were on that jury, I would lie my ass off in my heart to say I'm going to go after justice here, and the judge tells me I have to do what I think is correct. And I would listen to the evidence, and I would say, well, I know they're lying about this because they hate Donald Trump. Therefore, I'm going to negate that part of the evidence. Therefore, I can justifiably nullify my decision by agreeing with what I believe is true in that case. So everybody can kiss my ass about jury nullification. And secondly, I'm sorry, I'm screaming, man. I'm doing a VA thing. I'm doing 4 medical things in 5 days about the VA from Vietnam stuff. So I'm way up to here. I was on the phone for an hour and a half this morning.
I can imagine.
Anyway, here's the other thing. You're a freaking Marine. Is that correct?
No, I wish. I'm not tough enough to have been a Marine.
You're the assassin.
Buck is CIA. He's killed people, but he can't tell us how.
I don't know why I thought that. But anyway,
I'm a lawyer, which is way more of a wuss than a Marine.
And I'm one of our longtime sports broadcasters from many. But that's a whole other thing.
But your point on this is, I think, important.
Traitor? They called you a traitor? You go punch that girl in the nose. I'm serious. How could they? How you can't do? I mean, that's unbelievable.
They are. I think for 240 some odd years, we made the decision that elections should be decided by voters.
Yeah,
basically. And what they are trying to do now, and I would stand on principle if 20 years from now it's flipped and Republicans are trying to do it. They are trying to, through lawfare, keep Donald Trump from being elected president. So as a matter of principle, I think that we are entering into an awful precedent when we say, look, if you think Trump is awful, I disagree with you. But you make that case, and let's let 150 million legal voters go out, some of such, and make the decision about what should happen. I'm all for it. But to allow 12 people in a city that is overwhelmingly filled with people who detest Donald Trump to be considered a jury of his peers is, I think, a flagrant travesty of justice. And I would say the same thing if suddenly, let's say, Gavin Newsom is president and they try to put him in prison in Dothan, Alabama, which I bet is not going to have a lot of people who vote for Gavin Newsom. That's not a jury of his peers.
But you're right. You're absolutely right. And I guarantee you most conservatives say the same thing. Either it's right or it's wrong, and this is wrong. It's like the issue of abortion. It's right or wrong, whatever. But conservatives do that. But these people don't care. They don't give a damn. These Democrats will do anything.
They believe in rule of man, and it started under Obama. Instead of rule of law, which we always had, it's now rule of man. We don't like this, so we're going to try and change it.
The one-party system. I don't remember a time, and I'm almost 80 years old. I never remember a time in politics when anyone, even in the McCarthy era, I don't remember a time when anyone's tried to pull this off. When again, these law cases against Trump are years old. This one's 4 years old, 5 years old, not 2019 or something, wasn't it? They waited for all of these to get him so he couldn't run for president again. And they did it deliberately. It's a conspiracy. I mean, this has never happened in politics in my lifetime or the history of the country that I know of.
I'm cautiously optimistic because I tend to be an optimist in general, which you can certainly say, hey, there's a lot of reason why you shouldn't be an optimist. But I think the precedent that may be set, regardless of what happens in the courtrooms in D.C. or New York City or South Florida or Atlanta, where you guys are dealing with all sorts of insanity down here.
Oh, my God.
Now, just down the road. I'm cautiously optimistic that the public is rejecting these prosecutions. And that if Trump wins in 2024, one of the lessons will be if you try to put your chief political opponent in prison for the rest of his life, it blows up in your face such that the lesson will be, yeah, we don't need to do this. Let's try to win in the actual race. I'm cautiously optimistic that it's actually working in Trump's favor and that there are a lot of reasonable people out there that may not be particularly political that just find this to be unacceptable.
But it happened before with the Democrats, Harry Reid getting the nuclear option in, and then all of a sudden it was turned against him just a few years later.
And Mitch McConnell warned him that may well happen.
Yeah, but still, again, that wasn't as invasive as this. I mean, this is a whole program of their entire lives were built for this one thing.
No,
keep going.
I mean, it's absolutely astounding. This has never happened before. And by the way, I say bury him. I say if the conservatives finally get back in control, crush them. You can't, give war a chance. We need to make sure that they never, ever get to do this again. If they win this election, and I don't know why people are talking about Congress now, it's going to go back Democrat again. I'm going out of my freaking mind. All these idiot Republicans resigning.
I know.
Are
it
you
doesn't make any
crazy?
sense in the
And
House.
if they get the House again, and still, thanks to Georgia, still have the Senate, but Georgia freaking Republicans, I'm not voting for Herschel Walker. And the president, oh my God, they're going to pass House Resolution 1, federalize all the elections, put 19 members on the Supreme Court, and it's over, and I'm going to Costa Rica. I swear to God, what else? Seriously. It's
Costa Rica is nice.
I've been there, but I don't know if I want to live there, but I've not been visited. It's a nice vacation.
I don't know where I would go.
Really? Would you live in this country?
I think this is such an interesting question.
Really,
because
could you survive as a conservative, just a basic, decent-minded, intelligent individual raising a family? Could you live in a country like that?
I am afraid of where we are headed, but I'm also a history guy. And history teaches me that over time we tend to, in this country, get things right. Now,
yeah, but it's not that kind of time. I'm 78 years old.
Yeah, well, I might feel differently if I was 78. I might be like, screw it, I'm going to Costa Rica. I look at things now. I just turned 45 last week. So I look at things now through the prism of my boys. So I've got a 16-year-old, 13-year-old, and a 9-year-old. And I tend to be a fighter because, to your point, if I were 78 and my families were all grown and my kids were all out on their own and everything else, you're much more of an individual. I don't even see myself at this point as really making arguments for myself. I see myself as making arguments for my kids and the country that I want them to grow up in,
which is perfect, as you should. I, on the other hand, I'm ready for a fight. How many summers do I have left? How many Christmas?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I'm
ready to go. I tell you, if
I think I would go over.
I am ready. Now, okay, for the record, for the federal Gestapo investigation and that freaking Christopher the Cossack Ray, that freaking perjurer, by the way, was still trying to put something in the trunk of my car to pull me over one night. I swear to God. These people are, they're so offensive to America, and I'm not putting up with it. I'm not calling for an insurrection, but by God, if there is one, click,
You're
baby.
78. I would go. You got a good 15 years still. Over under.
Well,
I think he's going to.
Well, the Petersons do live to their 90s.
I think you going under.
We're taking the under. I'm going to take the under on that.
The morning show's got to be at Christmas.
I think he's got good energy, vim, vigor, vitality,
moxie.
Joe,
too ornery. That's
Joe
all.
Biden couldn't do this. Well, I know he is 3 years older, but I think you got 93 easy. By the way, I don't know that I got 15 years. I feel like I'm aging like spoiled milk, but with all the kids and everything else, I got to keep up.
I really think about that, man. I have grandkids that I'm concerned about, but again, the only thing I can do is whatever time I've got left, and that's it.
Yeah,
I can't make. You know what I mean? I'm so limited. And I was telling Flounder the other day, he's 40-something, and then Pete's 60-something, so I'm at that finals thing, and I'm telling him, when you get to the stage, everything that happens in your life, whether it's, dealing with social media or AI stuff, or I've got now these apps I got to do for the everything is concentrated and everything is more difficult.
Yeah.
Everything is more intense. So when they're messing with people like me, I told them the other day, even old Marines like me, if we get too old to fight, we'll just kill you.
You know what I'm cautiously optimistic about too, by the way, since I need to be the voice of optimism here because you're ready to spiral out of control. I think you're seeing increasingly people who are recognizing that the online world, the world in our phones, the world in the iPad in front of you, the world in the computer screen is not real.
Right.
And that for the last 15 years or so, I just look at it. I'm glad I've got boys. But 30% of teenage girls thought about killing themselves in the last year. And if you look at the rates of mental illness in this country and just general depression, it skyrocketed with the introduction of the iPhone.
All of a sudden, every 14-year-old girl they never leave their phone, and they think they have to react to something that's going on anywhere in the world that suddenly is their business and affects their own self-esteem and how they compare with others. It's just horrible what they're doing to children.
Walking around the Masters, no phones.
Yeah,
all day Sunday.
I thought about that.
So refreshing. Even though every once in a while you're reaching down to snap a picture and you're reaching for your phone. Everybody, and a New York policeman was there, a retired guy. He's talking. Everybody's watching the reality in front of them. Nobody's doing this. They're doing selfies.
Yeah.
They're focused on what's happening.
Yeah. I think we're going to see more and more of people who want, like I joke with my wife that at some point I'm just going to take my phone and throw it as far as I can and not be able to be reached. I think one of the true luxuries of life now is being unreachable.
Yeah,
it used to be. If you think about it, we pivoted. Remember,
you got to pay for that. You got to go. Yeah, it's going to cost you money.
But remember, the first sign of wealth, in terms, was like the first person who had a car phone.
Right. Yeah.
You were able to work no matter where. Now we all have that hyper reachable aspect, and I think the new sign of wealth is going to be, I think we're going to pivot back the other direction. It's going to be like, I can't even get in touch with that guy.
Yeah. I was reading this morning. I realized, even me, and I hate social media. I don't go on Twitter. I have to do it for work, but I'm not that guy. But if I'm taking notes at my little thing and doing the news and stuff, if I'm going into the kitchen to get my coffee or going upstairs or something, I'm grabbing my phone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I remember, I think to myself, wait a minute, not that many years ago, you didn't give a damn about if anybody was going to call you while you're doing stuff in your house. Hell, when you went to work, you didn't have your phone. You didn't have a phone. You didn't even, I remember there was no answering machines. Yeah. You went to work and then you wonder whether anybody called you that day. And you were made out fine. Yeah. You know what I mean? We were all fine. And now, oh my God, if I don't have my phone in 20 seconds, I might miss a call. And I'm thinking, I'm going nuts.
We were the last generation to know true freedom. Like if you got fed up, get in your car in the middle of the night and drive across the country and start a new life. Nobody knew where you were or what you were doing. And you can't do that anymore.
It's true. It's true. You can be tracked anywhere. I'm trying to keep my kids, so everybody's got different ages. 14 is the age we let them get a phone. And some people are saying that's too young. It's 8th or 9th grade.
Although don't you have guards? I think you talked last time we hear about how you're a pretty active dad, and you're
super
your
active. My wife is really strict. We try to, but and also keep them off social media. Right. They can't get on social media till they're 16.
Right.
Because I feel like at my age, I was kind of in a good generation because I was old enough to grow up without the internet, without basically that constant ability to have in contact with people. But I was, by the time I got to college, understood how the internet worked. So it's kind of like an interesting bridge. And I think the kids today are increasingly aware of how unhealthy this all is for them and are starting to make decisions that are better for their health. So anyway, I feel like this phone and this life just kind of all of a sudden cannonballed right into the world.
Even me, I can't go from room to room without taking my phone. Afraid I need to get people.
And a lot of people feel like their phone's ringing all the time when it isn't, or buzzing. You're getting a notification, you're getting a text message, whatever it is. I don't think it's a healthy way to live.
No, it's not.
Yeah, and so I think
look at me.
Yeah, well,
it scared the hell out of guys in their 40s. He'll never come back.
I'm like I said, I'm just hoping to make it 15 more. I think you got 93. I think you're in a good spot.
But boy, the morning guys,
you might outlive
because they think
you might outlive me.
If we gotta go, listen, I can't thank you.
Hey, this is awesome. You guys keep up the good work. The station is fabulous.
You've been working all day long, and you did this with us. We really can't thank you enough, Clay Travis, and hi your buddy too, and have a great trip.
Hey, and congrats on getting to go to the Masters. Yeah, hopefully I don't get arrested in Seattle. Fingers crossed.
We're with you. We'll bail you out. I swear to God. We'll get it with pitchforks and torches.
No doubt. Appreciate y'all.
323. Thanks. Kimber P. Flounder and Clay here on 106.3. Look out.
Thank you.
The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's Tug, and here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Look up on the internet the world's smallest political quiz. Then take it. It's 20 questions. Well, you answer those questions, it's going to put you on a grid. Left, right, conservative, Republican, anarchist, whatever. And about 60 to 70% of all Americans will fall firmly in the libertarian grid on that. The American people are, by and large, libertarian. They're not Democrat. They're not Republican. They're libertarian. But the narrative in the media is, well, America's a two-party state. Third parties are dangerous. Why?
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
Atlanta's Mark from the Safe House. And now, the security riddle of the day. What's less secure than a fake safe from a furniture or big box store? Joe Biden's fake border policy, of course. But hey, there is good news. This time next year, Joe Biden will not be president. So drop by Atlanta Safe House and check out the largest selection of safes in the Southeast. Build a wall around your valuables with a safe from the Safe House. We have certified delivery crews to install your safe. With over 30 years in the safe business, the Safe House is the place to buy safe in Georgia. So go to atlantasafehouse.com.
Springtime is here. Looking for a fun weekend with family, friends, and the kids? The Mitsubishi Electric Classic, presented by Adventure, Georgia's only PGA Tour Champions event, returns to Metro Atlanta April 26th to the 28th. Pick your favorite hole to watch along the ropes or find public seating throughout the course. Children 15 and under receive complimentary tickets with purchase by an adult. Join the excitement at TPC Sugarloaf in Duluth, Georgia from April 26th to the 28th. Tickets available at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com/tickets.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
Hi, I'm Mark Beckham with Atlanta Ramjack. We specialize in only foundation repair. What makes Atlanta Ramjack special is the crews. Our crews are the most experienced people in the industry. Foundation repairs has many aspects. We do helical piers, hydraulically driven piles, we do polyfoam injection, we pressure grout, we do carbon fiber reinforcement. There's multiple solutions to foundation repairs. If you see any signs of foundation issues, please contact us at atlantaramjack.com.
I enjoy a good night's sleep, and I like to breathe while I'm sleeping. My wife appreciates that, too. That's why I wear a CPAP. You want the right machine. You want expert advice. You want all the supplies that go with it. You get it all at CPAPs, etc. in Alpharetta. Machines, masks, tubing, filters, cleaning supplies, all of it, and they ship nationwide. Walk-ins, by the way, are welcome. CPAPs, etc. Alpharetta, CPAPSETC.com.
My name is Amy Risley. I have been working for Bruce Hagen for 17 years. When I first started, my boys were 4 and 6, and whenever I needed, Bruce allowed me to bring them to our office. Bruce has always treated us like family, and 17 years later, I still love coming to work for Bruce Hagen. The best part of my job is when I get to put a settlement check in the hands of someone Bruce won a case for and see it change their life. I'm Amy Risley, and I work for Bruce Hagen. Let Bruce Hagen work for you. Hagen-law.com.
At the Piedmont Bank, we're proud to be one of Georgia's largest community banks, focusing on serving businesses and the communities they serve. With headquarters right here in Metro Atlanta, our tailored banking expertise and solutions help meet the diverse needs of our customers so they have what it takes to grow, expand, and thrive. It's what elevates us above the rest. Find a location near you at Piedmont.bank and experience elevated banking for you and your business. The Piedmont Bank. Banking elevated. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Oh, Lordy. I don't know why. I hate this guy. I hate his look. I hate his hair. I hate his sound. I hate his music. I hate his voice. I'm sorry. I know he's a wonderful guy, and I'll be the bad guy forever, and I apologize. I'm just being honest with you. I don't want to ever keep any secrets from you, the little people. But this is the hideous Rod Stewart. I was sorry. On this day in 2015, British guitarist and composer Martin Quintenton died. He played in the blues rock band Steam Hammer, formed in '68, worked with Rod Stewart, co-wrote Maggie May, and You Wear It Well. Stewart invited Quintenton to join his group Faces, but Quintenton was not attracted to the wild offstage antics for which the Faces were notorious.
Ron Wood was a guitarist.
So, he was? Yeah. Oh, well, no, that would pretty much give an indication of one kind or another, I suppose, sir. Your birthday list today. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, by the way. How are we going? 329. And thank you, Clay Travis. That was very nice. The guy's traveling and doing stuff, and that was really... And I know I was obnoxious and horrible, and I'll tell you what, there's a thing going on in my head, and it's coming out, so everything's fine. But again, I'm saying you're watching the metamorphosis of a formerly successful American male.
A what?
Metamorphosis.
A metamorphosis?
Metamorphosis.
You're this close.
I almost had it, damn it.
It's a fact.
But so very, very close. It's like a chrysalis of some sort.
Here's a cookie.
You're so sweet. Birthday list. You can all eat me. How about that?
Metamorphosis.
Gina Carano. 42 of the badass MMA minx who was fired from The Mandalorian. Also, Angel Dust in Deadpool. I just be named Angel Dust.
She's in Deadpool, number one.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah. And let's see, our history list today includes, congratulations, 1994. On this day, Harry Connick Jr. married the very beautiful and sweet Victoria's Secret model Jill Goodacre. Today is their 30th anniversary. Wow, good for you. Congratulations. And our 3 o'clock hour, by the way, brought to you by our good friends at First Liberty Building and Loan. If you need financing to grow your business, please visit firstlibertyga.com. By the way, speaking of that, they talk about that in the morning show, one of their clients and sponsors in the morning. And I was coming into work today, and I saw, I was down right across from here at the Battery from the ballpark, and I noticed about 100 little kids in little orange jumpsuits or little orange outfits or something or other, like some kind of kindergarten thing or something. And I thought, oh my God, how'd you like to be in charge of taking care of like 100 kids at the ballpark? But the fact of the matter was, as I was looking at them, Tug approached me. Tug was coming out of work on the sidewalk, so I did a little thing with talking to Tug about the little kids. And it reminded me that this place has got people coming in to see the ballpark when the Braves are not here, too. So anyway, I thought it was kind of cool. I just saw those little kids, and I thought, what a nice treat that is. If I don't remember seeing a professional ballpark, especially a big-time world champion Frank Aaron type ballpark when I was 5 or something, I mean, I remember seeing the Syracuse Chiefs as a little boy. Some of the and I grew up in a town as a teenager that had the AAA Boston Red Sox teams, and I saw, George Scott.
Yeah, great. From Greenville, Mississippi.
Tony Canigliaro.
Yeah.
Anyway, I knew
his brother Billy.
I knew Billy. I knew Mark Ballinger. His name is Belanger. It's not Belanger. That's how Kurt Gowdy
is to me.
I went to school with him. He was 3 years. I played against him when I was a freshman. And he was a senior, and just in the thing. And his name was Mark Ballinger. And as by the way, it's B-E. It should be Bellinger, but it's pronounced Mark Ballinger. That's why everybody called him Mark Ballinger. I knew the guy. And then all of a sudden, Kurt Gowdy gets him for the Baltimore Orioles or something. The new shortstop, Mark Belanger, and I'm going, all for you, idiot. Anyways, I guarantee you, everybody who knew him is Mark Ballinger. That's his name. Anyway, whatever. So I love minor league baseball, and I thought it was kind of a nice kick for those kids. And God, why am I talking? I'm sorry. I'm freaked out. What's our time? 2:40? Is that what you said, Flounder?
2:45.
2:45. Excellent. Okay. Well, I'll do something later about the TV thing. And again, honestly, there's always something. I mean, there's always something. The more technology that I get, the more trouble it is, and the more things it takes away to get something that isn't really actually. I'm telling you, it's a thing. Anyway, I won't bore you with it here at the moment. Also, this whole veterans. I'm going to have 4 medical things in the next 5 days, including one tomorrow. And it's just, and then 2 Friday and 1 Monday, and it's just, and I'll be in work, and that's the other thing. I told him I'm not missing work. I'm just, so it's going to be horrible.
Is this about your face?
My face and my attitude, mostly. Yeah. They say, no, we're putting you in the PTSD program, mister. You may not want to go, but anyways, sorry. Anyway, let's do Newsy stuff. 3:33. Okay. Oh, very funny. Yeah, you hope you can get to be where I am at this age.
A disgruntled loner.
Yeah, a miserable, angry, lonely old man. Hey, you can hope to be like me one day.
An unhappy drifter.
Gonna die alone and nasty. Everybody say good riddance. Oh my God. Anyway, we got newsy stuff here. Okay, the Donald Trump thing. Alvin Bragg, the DA in Manhattan. This is, of course, again about cover-up money for Stormy Daniels, who, by the way, is a guy. She may be one of the most unattractive whores or whatever. Was she a hooker?
Who?
Stormy Daniels.
Porno queen. I think.
Oh, God. I mean, she's got a big square head, big square butt. She has big. I mean, she's just clunky looking to me. If you pulled her hair back, she looks like a guy. Big square jaw, like rock jaw, airline pilot or something.
Got a couple assets.
Yeah, but who? I mean, so do you.
Excuse me?
So do I.
What?
Anyway, so now this DA is saying, well, he's complaining to the judge that Donald Trump's been talking, and you have a gag order, and he's been talking about people like his old lawyer Michael Avenatti, and you need to put him in jail. The DA, Alvin Bragg, wants to have Donald Trump held in contempt and put into jail for 30 days. Please, God, Donald Trump, keep talking. In fact, we have a little soundbite of him. This again before he goes into court today, and Trump is not stopping yapping his mouth. Here is again this very morning.
Thank you very much. This is a trial that should have never been brought. It's a trial that is being looked at all over the world. They're looking at it and analyzing it. Every legal pundit, every legal scholar said this trial is a disgrace. We have a Trump-hating judge. We have a judge who shouldn't be on this case. He's totally conflicted. But this is a trial that should never happen. It should have been thrown out a long time ago. If you look.
And one of the things the DA is complaining about is that Donald Trump released a statement, and it says, the picture of the document, official statement of Stormy Daniels, dated 2018. Again, this case is 6 years old. And they waited to bring it until they could try to keep him from running for office again. Okay, the official, Donald Trump, the reason they're saying he broke the gag order is because Trump released a statement saying, over the last few weeks, I've been asked questions countless times to comment on the reports of an alleged sexual relationship I had with Donald Trump many, many years ago. I am denying this affair because it never happened, unquote, Stormy Daniels. And Trump posted it to show, look, the whole thing, it's all been fake. Even the fake news had to report it. Well, so now they're saying, well, he broke the gag order. And I'm hoping to God that they will, that this Trump-hating judge, I hope to God will throw him in jail. Because the bottom line would be Donald Trump would be jailed for trying to defend himself by speaking as he's running for president of the United States to show why he's a better candidate than the other guy. They were trying to shut him up and put him in jail for the one-party system, not because he was beating somebody up, not because he raped a woman, not because he robbed a bank, because he wanted to speak about what he believed to be the truth. And they put him in jail for that? Oh, man. I'll tell you, I hope there would be pitchforks and torches surrounding the jail. Oh, can you imagine? Oh, please, God, please do it. Hold him in contempt and put him, oh, my God, put him in jail. I'll bet you he'd love it. Boy, I would. If I were in his shoes. Can you imagine? Again, this has never happened. No president has ever been on trial for a crime. And this crime, by the way, is a bookkeeping issue. They say that he fudged the book, or he had somebody, I don't think he did it himself, that he had somebody fudge the books so they could hide the payment or make sure it was something. It's a bookkeeping thing. I mean, the whole thing is extortion or blackmail or making a contract or a deal.
If
anyway,
he's guilty, they can't. That won't stop him from being president if elected, right? If he's found guilty?
If he's found guilty of a felony, it might.
Is it a felony?
I think it's a felony. Which is even more ridiculous because the Southern District of New York didn't want to even take the case. And nobody else said this is a misdemeanor bookkeeping issue. But they're using it as trying to get around election laws and all that kind of stuff. And the Federal Election Commission said, no, we're not going to touch this. It's not a crime. Mm-hmm. Everybody did. And they're doing it anyway. I mean, again, that's why I say screw jury nullification. You're damn right. They're not treating us with decency and honesty. They are lying to us. They are faking us. They are doing everything they can to hurt us and deny us true liberty in this country. And I say we got to fight back. If they want to have early voting for 6 months, then we need early voting for 6 months. If they want to have everybody sign their stuff at old folks' homes, and we got to do the same. I mean, this is unbelievable. We can't let them win. They're lying to us and cheating us, so why would we not do the same to get them back?
Because the Republicans are incompetent.
Well, we're also, now they just went after the Speaker of the House again. They're trying to get rid of the new Speaker.
That's just dumb. I'm sorry.
But on the other hand, they did just impeach Mayorkas. Now, that only means that they voted to send him to trial, so he didn't convict him of anything, but the House did vote to impeach him.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz says that Mayorkas actively aided the border crossings.
I agree. I totally agree. Absolutely agreed. And not only did that, he also, remember the business with the whipping of the Haitians and stuff?
Yeah.
Everything he did. And he knew, he got a memo saying, no, they were not whipping. Those photographs were not accurate at all. No, those guys were professionals. And I can promise you, because I've done stuff like that on a horse with crowds and things like that and loose steers. And I'm telling you, these guys were real pros. I'm not saying I'm saying they were. And I know they were. And they put in a memo that was all not true. And he went out and did it anyway, just to try to condemn the very issue of the border crossings, about how we need to let these people in because otherwise it's just too violent. I mean, he deliberately was helping them.
It's not violent enough.
Yeah. He was deliberately helping them break the law. And again, it's not going to go anywhere because of Georgia. Two senators are both socialists and Trump haters and police haters and military haters. And so they're not going to do anything. And so it's going to go nowhere, which is good, though. I'm glad. I think we need to impeach somebody every week. I think we need to have impeachment mean absolutely nothing. So that when the history books back, Trump impeached twice. Yeah, that was funny. Because it's meaningless.
It is now.
Absolutely. Trump got impeached for what? Talking about a phone call and a letter?
He wanted them to investigate what we all know Biden did now in Ukraine.
And that Biden bragged about getting the prosecutor kicked off his son's case.
He bragged that it was quid pro quo. I'll give you the money if you quit investigating my kid. Yeah. And he laughed and bragged about it, and everybody just goes, whoop-dee.
And didn't you say, and the son of a bitch was gone? I think he used those words. I think the son of a bitch was gone. Bragging about it. And Trump got impeached for talking about the issue. Well, God, 340. All right. Anyway, so we got that going for us, which is weird. And let's do let's do the Supreme Court Justice. Gorsuch. Flounder, I think you have that back there. The Supreme Court Justice today, the court today, hold on, I got to get my place here. Excuse me. I beg your pardon. The court today was hearing arguments over whether the Capitol so-called rioters can be convicted of obstructing Congress's business. It dates back to the 20 years ago in the Enron scandal, whether the Justice Department employed Capitol police officers appropriately, whether these were riots, and whether they were obstructing something which was passed in the wake of the Enron scandal, which was meant to limit classic cases of evidence tampering. Had nothing to do with storming the Capitol, but that's what the law is. And so now the arguments were at the Supreme Court today, and whether it's ever been used in a case like it's been used against Donald Trump. And Supreme Court Justice Gorsuch apparently believes this is a little weird.
If I might, so what does that mean for the breadth of this statute? Would a sit-in that disrupts a trial or access to a federal courthouse qualify? Would a heckler in today's audience qualify, or at the State of the Union address? Would pulling a fire alarm before a vote qualify for 20 years in federal prison?
There are multiple elements of the statute that I think might not be satisfied by those hypotheticals, and it relates to the point I was going to make to the Chief Justice about the breadth of this statute. The kind of built-in limitations are the things that I think would potentially suggest that many of those things wouldn't be something the government could charge or prove as 1512c2 beyond a reasonable doubt, would include the fact that the actus reus does require obstruction, which we understand to be a meaningful interference. So that means that if you have some minor disruption or delay or some minimal outburst, we don't think it falls within the actus reus to begin with.
My outbursts require the court to reconvene after the proceeding has been brought back into line, or the pulling of the fire alarm, the vote has to be rescheduled, or
insurrection,
the protest outside of the courthouse makes it inaccessible for a period of time. Are those all federal felonies subject to 20 years in prison?
Yes.
So with some of them, it would be necessary to show nexus. So with respect to the protest outside the courthouse, we'd have to show that, yes, they were aiming at the proceeding.
They were trying to stop the proceeding.
Yes, and then we'd also have to be able to prove that they acted corruptly, and this sets a stringent mens rea. It's not even just the mere intent to obstruct. We have to show that also, but we have to show that they had corrupt intent in acting in that way.
We went around that tree yesterday.
I know.
All right, that's fine. But again, I'm telling you this, as a baby boomer who's lived through all these weird things from the 50s, this is unbelievably significant.
As they've normalized it, though, for the young people, thinking this is how it's supposed to do.
And I'm telling you, you have no idea. One day you'll look back on this, hopefully, because the history being made right now has never been part of world history of any country going through what we've been going through for the last, 6-7 years.
And what Biden ran on, he's going to bring civility back. The adults were in charge, and things were going to go back to normal the way they've always done. It's become so radicalized and out there. It's crazy town.
Remember when he actually said, if anybody in my administration ever says something negative about somebody else, they're fired immediately. Remember that? Oh, my God. 344. Double-tiered justice system in a one-party state. Coming up, Stephen A. Smith he's a very provocative sports commentator. Is that where did he even come from? I've known him for years. Where did he start?
I think he started out years ago at the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, but he was like small time doing stuff,
he wasn't
running
an
around.
Athlete, though,
but he was a newspaper guy for a Philadelphia newspaper. I think is when he first started hitting the ESPN big time.
Yeah. I really don't know anything about his background.
He was a newspaper
he exploded.
Sports writer, I think.
Well, anyway, coming up, we have some comments from him about the business with going after Donald Trump. Also, latest on the president's stupid face and coming up on his cheat cards. Dear God, if Donald Trump had been caught with cheat cards, telling him when to pause and statements and stuff, good Lord. Also, Bill Maher saying stop picking on the Trumper. And a double whammy on the NPR executive who came forward to talk about all the bias. And the trannies in the newsy. We got so much newsy stuff, which actually is kind of depressing. But we got it all with Kara, Pete, and Flounder. And the Flounder's funny coming up here in a second, too. Holy crap, at sports later. AI tweets. We got it all. Happy Tuesday. And again, thanks to Clay for joining us for a while after his show ended at 3 o'clock here with the Kara, Pete, and Flounder at 106.3. Hey, it's the Kimmer. Look out. The Kimmer Show is live every afternoon from 3 to 6, just like the Kimmer.
Meanwhile, the NAIA, which governs 250 small colleges around the country, has banned transgender athletes from competing in the women's sports by a vote of 20-0. And this is pretty cool. That's finally somebody is showing some balls, literally, and is showing that there's
support the women. What happened to support the women? I thought we were all for it was all the women. Me Too movement and believe the woman, and all of a sudden they say, well, women, you can be a guy.
The Kimmer Show every afternoon from 3 to 6 p.m. on XTRA 106.3 and the XTRA app.
Hey, it's Lowe's. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Echo. Hard work is always better when you're doing it with a friend, and Echo Power Equipment is a friend that you can trust to hang with you during the most grueling outdoor projects. Echo is designed to last for many years if properly used and maintained. Speaking of friends, Howard Brothers is where you need to go for Echo Power Equipment. They don't just sell it in a box like the big stores do. They assemble it, they gas it up, and they show you how to properly use and maintain your equipment. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and Howard Brothers.
Well, Michael, I want to thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
Why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and quite frankly, we were concerned.
About what?
Apparently, you were arrested for throwing a shopping cart at a customer?
In my defense, he had it coming.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
True Prep on Cobb Parkway is your one-stop shop for emergency preparedness supplies, including freeze-dried food, water filtration, first aid, and more. They also have a large selection of firearms, including a huge selection of AR-15s, firearm accessories, and ammo at the lowest prices around. They are locally owned and operated. You can visit their store in Marietta on Cobb Parkway or online at trueprep.com. That's TRU prep.com. Prepare today for a worry-free tomorrow at True Prep.
Millions
of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
My name's Jeff Criswell. I'm running for U.S. House of Representatives, Georgia's 6th District. I'm a Republican. I'm very conservative. First moved to Atlanta, the Atlanta area in 1984. Within the last 3-4 years, I really felt a very strong urge that I believe is from God to get involved in politics. So there's 765,000 voters in this district. So I'm going to need to be able to use sort of some more modern strategies. And for that reason, I am reaching out to people. We need your support. I don't care if it's $10 or $100 or $1,000, whatever you're comfortable with. Also, if you want to volunteer, we could absolutely use you for a volunteer. And finally, a sign out in a yard is worth its weight in gold. If you want to put a sign up, go over to jeffcriswell.com. That's Jeff, Jeff, Criswell, CRISWELL.com. By all means, we want to partner with you because we can win this district.
This message is paid for by Jeff for Georgia 6.
Da-da-da-da. I got now. Oh, yeah? Oh, so what?
Great balls of fire.
Jerry Lee Lewis, baby. On this day, 2003, Jerry Lee filed for divorce from wife number 6, Carrie McCarver Lewis. The 67-year-old singer married Carrie in 1984. She was president of the Jerry Lewis Enterprises fan club, and that lasted 20 years. Well, no, it lasted 20 years. Good for you. Anyway, let's see what else you got. Birthday list includes John Cryer, 59 years old. Lex Luthor on the CW's Supergirl. Alan Harper on 2.5 Men. And this guy says to me, he'll always be Ducky and Pretty in Pink. I'd forgotten about that. Did he wear that funny hat? Did he wear something like a funny sun hat and a beanie or something or other? Did you ever see Pretty in Pink? You probably never saw the movie. Molly Greenwald or whatever her name is, Ringwald?
No, I was a heterosexual man at the time.
No, I had a crush on Molly Ringwald, and I would watch her movies. I watched Sweet 16 or whatever it was, 16
She was
Candles,
unrecognizable in that Truman Capote thing.
I know, absolutely. No way in hell. I think I saw a minute of that, and I didn't. Anyway, John Cryer's 59 years old today. And hold on a second here. I got a couple things here. Yeah, here we go. 1862, Civil War time. Double duty day today in history in South. Confederate President Jefferson Davis approved the draft conscription for white males between 18 and 35. And on the same day in 1862, slavery was abolished by law in the District of Columbia. So it's kind of a Jefferson Davis
finally got around to that a year or so after the war started.
Yeah, well, they had to wait, make sure everybody was, taking care of it, apparently. By the way, let's see, to the phones, 404-741-1230. It's Martin, I believe, is still hanging. Hey, Martin, been on for around 45 minutes. Martin, I appreciate it, man. What's up?
Hey, you're buying me a new battery.
I don't blame you, sir. I'm sorry. It's my bad.
Could never survive a swimming pool test, okay?
What do you mean?
Number one, well, you throw her in the pool,
yeah.
The makeup off, you got a tire biter.
I know, it's not right.
Now, you remember the days of the West, way back, the Wild West, they had hanging judges?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we could have them today if we just start judging the judges.
It's amazing.
Yes, the local law enforcement, they're basically trying to do their job. But, they lock up someone and they're out before the policeman drives out of the parking lot of the jail.
Well, it's even worse than the case in New York of a guy who punched a little baby or something and done the same to a woman like the day before. It's outrageous. I mean, when is somebody going to say, wait a minute, what are you doing here?
So anyhow, if we judge the judges, we could sort of bring back the hanging judges, maybe.
I like it.
Anyhow, the other one. Let's talk about fun. Yesterday, you were griping about the bicycles. Okay.
Well,
I wrote an article for one of the local papers, and the title of it was "Men in Tights on Bikes with Bright Lights." And I need to elaborate on what direction we were going.
I know it's aggravating, and again, I'm not in favor of doing anything to bike riders. Treat them with respect. They're on the road and they're on a bicycle, so you can't be being stupid. But still,
yeah. But let's look at the facts. Okay?
Yeah.
How much ad valorem tax do they pay to ride on the street?
I agree.
How much excise tax do they pay to ride on the road?
Yeah.
Fuel tax.
Yeah.
How much insurance do they have? Mandatory insurance to ride on? None.
Yeah.
So, the concept of them having more rights than a car, I ride and I enjoy riding, but I'm not an idiot.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to crowd out, 4,000 to 8,000 pounds of metal riding my ass.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah.
And I think they need to respect the roads.
Well, when those women went by and kind of smirked at me and literally were going like that, honestly, I'm thinking, where the hell do you get off? I mean, it was right away, so that was clear. But on the road, you reveal like anybody else. And if you're going 7 miles an hour in a 45 because it's uphill, then you're obstructing traffic. You're breaking the law.
Yeah. Well, anyhow. So, men in tights with bright lights on bikes.
Thank you, Martin. I'm going to look that one up and Google that one. It'd be an interesting read. Thanks, man. 5 minutes before 3:55. Holy cow. Cameron, Pete, and Flounder on 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Let's do, I know. Do we have time for Stephen A. Smith and a Flounder's Funny? I want to get two things on it. Can we do that? Stephen A.
We can try.
Let's do Stephen A. Smith. Is left-wing legal actions against Donald Trump. He says, wait a minute, what are you people doing? You're idiots. Oops. Well, it was a very short interview. Luckily, we have time now for the economy.
There was something else on that computer.
If you blinked, you missed it. We'll do it after
To my
4.
liberal friends out there, all you're doing is showing that you're scared you can't beat them on the issues and the merits. That's why he keeps saying it's a political campaign against me. That's why he keeps saying they can't beat me at the election. This is the only way they could do it. And if you don't put him in jail, and he still goes from being the presumptive GOP nominee to the official GOP nominee, and he goes to the polls, even though he was going to whine about winning and being rigged again, you have given more fodder to that argument, which means we'll never have peace in this country because tens of millions of people see what extent the other side is willing to go through just to keep him out of office because they can't beat him on their own merits. And they're going to say, hey, you trumped this up against him again, and we'll have no peace. When all you got to do is figure out a way to beat him on the issues, but you haven't been able to do it.
Stephen A. Smith. Pretty impressive for a sports guy who's a rabble-rouser and a troublemaker and a very, but taking the side of decency and righteousness. As far as I'm concerned, do the right thing, people. Take him on his own, fight him on his merits.
As Clay said, let 100 million people look at the facts and vote.
That's why we have a vote. Anyway, a little something there, Flounder. 3:57, a little time max there.
A little something there. A little
dinner with your friends. That always gets weird. Especially if you go out with a group and you go out to anything like a dinner or whatnot. And when the bill comes, it gets weird. Because what normally happens is the bill will travel around the table. People will then begin to pitch in what they think they owe. The problem with this is there's always somebody last to get the bill. A look of confusion and concern comes over their face.
What the?
Now people see this and they're like, a couple couple extra dollars or something like that? And they're like, well, I'm $687 short. So the $2 you're going to pitch in ain't even going to put a dent in this. So how about this? How about the bill take another leg? Do another leg.
Who's that, Flounder?
That is Sebastian
Maniscalco. Yeah, that's the guy. I recognize now. He was in a movie with, I think, Robert De Niro played a gangster's kid.
Yeah,
or
I think
something.
he's got a couple roles.
Yeah, and I didn't really know that until I think I saw him on something.
Nobody saw that movie.
No, I think. And by the way, speaking of TV, yes, thank you for asking. Oh, and by the way, we have a comment coming up about my TV experience. I think Flounder passed along a message from someone who was trying to help the Kimmer with
we have 2 comments.
Oh, 2. You want to do them now? We got a minute.
One was shut up and let the man talk.
Well, all right. We had Clay on. And
my favorite part of that interview was this. People don't want to hear me talk. They want to hear you talk. But I'm going to talk for 3 more minutes now.
I couldn't help it.
If I could have kicked you under the table.
I'm sorry. I couldn't help it. You know, the poor bastard will never come back. I'm sorry. You know,
you're consistent. You do it to boards, too.
I did the same thing. Well, they should have warned him. They're taking a chance.
That's him asking, hey, Kimmer, have you ever been on a farm? 5 minutes later.
Ask me again, I dare you. Yeah, we'll see how that works out for you. But at least luckily, till I got my set worked up this morning, last night I got a chance to watch Kojak, Babes Playing Billiards, and the Worst Criminals in America. Thank you. Oh. That was such wonderful television viewing.
You need to find Fail Army, F-A-I-L, Fail Army. It's a whole basic channel of screw-ups.
4 o'clock, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder on 106.3. Look out.
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Atlanta Safe House.
Progress at the Trump trial. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. 6 jurors have now been chosen to hear the hush money-related case against the former president, who also got a warning from the judge.
Judge Juan Merchan admonished former President Donald Trump for muttering and gesturing toward a prospective juror, while former President Trump's lawyers questioned that juror about her credibility, specifically regarding a post on social media that was made shortly after the 2020 election.
Fox's Nate Foy at State Supreme Court in Lower Manhattan. The judge has already set a hearing next week on potential gag order violations. President Biden hits the campaign trail, kicking off 3 days of events in Pennsylvania by contrasting tax policies in his hometown, Scranton. On Capitol Hill.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye.
The Senate receiving articles of impeachment against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas, charged with willfully and systematically refusing to enforce immigration laws. But Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer could move to block a trial.
Impeachment should never be used to settle a policy disagreement. Talk about awful precedents. This would set an awful precedent for Congress.
Republican Iowa Senator Joni Ernst tells Fox News,
this will be the first time in history that there has not been a trial if Leader Schumer decides to table those articles of impeachment. Only one other time have we not have a trial, and that's simply because there was a resignation.
The next step is for senators to be sworn in as jurors tomorrow. A transgender sports ban is not overturned in West Virginia. The Associated Press correcting its reporting on an appeals court decision earlier today. Instead of overturning the ban on Title IX concerns, the ruling is that the ban discriminates against a transgender 13-year-old who has publicly identified as a girl since 3rd grade and has taken puberty blockers. Mixed day on Wall Street, the Dow up 63. America's listening to Fox News.
Hear that? The soothing sounds of a bubble bath. And if you were here, you'd smell a single cedar leaf candle. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. So if you ride, get back on the road and enjoy 24/7 roadside assistance from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. And then take a shower, because it's fast, like your motorcycle. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Roadside assistance may require comprehensive coverage. Not available in all states.
All right, who's there for heroes or their families left behind when a service member or a first responder dies or is catastrophically injured in the line of duty? Who helps our country's homeless vets? I'll tell you who. It's the Tunnel to Towers Foundation. Never forget the sacrifices of our country's greatest heroes. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month. Just go to their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org, the letter T, number 2, letter T.org for the Tunnel to Towers Foundation.
Rough. All right, look out. 403, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 106.3 with Kiss. Look out. 1996, Kiss full makeup at the 38th Grammy Awards in 96. They announced a reunion tour would mark the first time all four of them got together in over 15 years. 1996, holy cow. I forgot they were that old. I didn't really know much about them anyway. So it's not like I would.
You weren't in Kiss Army?
I remember seeing the makeup and I thought, oh, God, those guys look weird. And that's all I ever knew about Kiss. I never even heard their songs. Or are they the ones that didn't think about the little boy falling off the window, or is that somebody else?
That's Eric Clapton.
Eric Clapton, okay. But,
I can see why you get the two confused.
Only Kimmer could get Kiss and Eric Clapton confused.
Yeah, Kiss did Tears from Heaven or what? Tears in Heaven?
That was what it was.
But they did Beth.
That was what it was. I'm thinking of Beth.
Song.
Well, yeah, but it was a love song. It was a thing about a girl and a love thing and a sad thing. And so that's why I got it confused.
That's when they did the 4 solo albums, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And then they put blood in a Marvel comic or something. Yeah.
Blood. A drop of blood in every printed Marvel comic. Yeah, oh my God. Well, all right then. Your birthday list includes Lorraine Nicholson. I have no idea who this is, other than she is Jack Nicholson's daughter. So I'm giving kudos to Lorraine Nicholson.
Didn't she just write that article in Vanity Fair about growing up at the Playboy Mansion?
I believe she did. Yeah. Lorraine Nicholson's 34. Jack's daughter played a rival surfer in the movie Soul Surfer about a shark attack victim, Bethany Hamilton. They have one-armed surfer girls. Anyway, so Lorraine Nicholson is 34 today. So there you go.
You know, I had a shark off San Diego rub up against my leg.
Did you see him actually?
I looked down. I looked at and felt the sandpaper and looked down, and it was about a 5 foot or something like that. It may have been a lemon shark. It may not have been that dangerous. But if I had my arm bitten off, I think I would have had a second thought about going back out there.
She's a champion.
Yeah.
A movie about her, books about. I mean, she's a surfing champion. I guess she's still doing it or teaching or something, making a living somehow in surfing goods or I don't know. Good for her. It's Bethany Hamilton, I think it is. And let's see, on this day in history, a couple of things here. 1943, Swiss chemist named Dr. Albert Hofmann accidentally discovered something weird and freaky when he was working on lysergic acid for its medicinal values, and he mixed in some diethylamide or mide and becomes LSD, and he was hallucinating by accident the first time in 1943. And on this day in 1987, the U.S. Patent Office began allowing patents for new animals created by genetic testing, which is really hideous. Anyway, a couple things there. And 4 o'clock hour, by the way, brought to you by our friends at Atlanta Safe House, home of the Kimmer Safes. You need a safe, you may not know it, put your Social Security card in there, plus your guns and special stuff, medical records, and learn from the Kimmer. They have a showroom in Ackworth, and learn more by going to atlantasafehouse.com. 406, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? Boom. Jeez, we got some. The judge now, I think you probably just heard it from our newsy guys here a second ago. The judge is now saying, I'm not going to take this disrespectful behavior. Your behavior, me, you're out of honor, you're out of honor. Remember the Al Pacino court case? I'm not out of honor, you're out of honor. What a joke. The whole freaking thing is a joke. God, out of honor. Honest to goodness, I'll bet you all of these get overthrown. There's no way that any of this is fair. The law wasn't meant for that. The deceptive practices. I mean, the whole thing is and Trump wasn't allowed to speak. Wasn't allowed to present witnesses. I mean, his whole thing is a nightmare. And now it's this whole new one just to get him again. All right. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. What was I going to do here a minute ago?
I don't know.
Oh, I know. I'll bring you updated on this. Here we go again. Can you imagine Donald Trump or any other president being in this situation? President Potato Head was once again wielding his crib sheet, scripted remarks to the press in the Oval Office sit-down with the Iraqi Prime Minister. President Biden, who is 81, turned to the script, which has all caps stage direction, where to go, where to stand, what to do, and it also gives him stage direction in all caps when he should pause in his comments. Well, the president of Iraq didn't have, PM didn't have any problem. He didn't even rely on any note cards of any kind, making remarks after President Stupid Face. After the attack was underway, the White House, and then they wanted to ask him some more, and the White House called a lid at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and then just released photos of President Crime Family talking with his security team, tracking the what's going on in the Middle East in the Situation Room. Right. Yeah, paying a lot of attention there, were you? Taking a little nap on the side. Unbelievable. 408. And by the way, more of the, we're going to talk tranny stuff here in a minute, too, by the way. And the liberals at NPR, boy, they got caught once again. But first, one more knock on the liberals going after people for the wrong reasons. Do we have the Bill Maher thing in there, Flounder, if I believe? Bill Maher, with his own real-time host guide, took a swipe at the corporate colleagues at CNN for their nonstop bashing of Donald Trump. He was talking to the hideous Katie Couric. Was it Katie? Yeah, Katie Couric. And by the way, let's not forget this. When I mentioned the name Katie Couric, I want to bring this up. When Katie Couric did a documentary or a special a series of stories and a big thing on Ruth Bader Ginsburg, the Supreme Court justice who died, Katie Couric did a huge story on Ruth Bader Ginsburg and deliberately eliminated and censored the entire section of Ruth Bader Ginsburg's outspokenness on the Supreme Court to leave it at number 9. Ruth Bader Ginsburg specifically said, no, Roosevelt tried this, it was wrong then, and it's wrong now. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a leader saying, no, you don't want to politicize this thing, it'd be the wrong reasons, and it's wrong. And Katie Couric got caught because she edited out and censored everything about Ruth Bader Ginsburg's comments on that, and Katie Couric admitted the reason she did it was because Katie Couric took it upon herself to say that she didn't want the memory of Ruth Bader Ginsburg to be colored negatively by her thoughts on the Supreme Court number of people. Katie Couric said, well, I don't want her to be remembered for having to keep the court the way it is. I think it's better if we maybe have this happen in the future. Katie Couric took it upon herself to change the woman's views.
Yeah, she had the wrong thoughts.
My God, the balls on these people. Why do you keep voting for them?
And they look at you in the eye and will tell you their objective. Well, the NPR winch is still saying their objective.
Yeah, we'll get that again. And now the double whammy on that. The guy came forward, they praised him, and then they just got rid of him. That's coming up here in a second. Anyway, Bill Maher's on with Katie Couric saying you people are going crazy. I don't know what the hell you're doing out there, Flounder.
Okay, remember the town hall he had on CNN about 6 months ago, and the audience loved it. They saw Trump killing it with the crowd. Then you come to a panel of 6 people who all just do nothing but dump on him and call him a liar. And America goes, oh, didn't you just see that we like him? And
He's
now
not a stand-up comedian.
What?
He's killing it. He's not a stand-up comedian.
No, but popularity doesn't matter. The people loved him and what he was saying. And then you cut to a panel of 6 know-it-alls in Washington who just do nothing but talk about the negative. And I'm all in on the negative. No one's been harder on Trump than me. But I get it, and I'm bored with it.
Bill Maher.
Yeah. And she doesn't see it. They don't see it.
She believes, well, comedians get things too, so what's that got to do with it? Oh, my God. I mean, literally, don't see the forest for the trees.
They got the blinders on.
It's a one-party mentality. The dimension is very narrow, and they can't help it. I mean, they really don't believe that. I can't in my heart believe that these people deep down really don't believe that, because if you change the parties, if you could suddenly have them wake up and say, oh, my God, Donald Trump's the president, and people are attacking him for not knowing anything, and it's not fair the way they're treating the former president, Joe Biden. It would be the same thing, only because if you change the parties. So again, they truly don't believe in their hearts. They just hate Donald Trump so much. I mean, if you change the parties, they would be supporting what we support if it had been for a Democrat.
All the Democratic Party is missing is a little red book they can all hold up of Mao's sayings, because that's what they need. They're unifying little symbols.
It's unbelievable. I mean, I can't. I mean, they really. I mean, the balls on these people.
State-run media all thinking the same thing, and NPR, everyone's a Democrat, but they don't see what the problem is. Yeah. But we're objective journalists. Just believe us.
Yeah. And coming up here in a minute, the NPR veteran editor, Uri Berliner, detailed the absence of viewpoint diversity. Remember last week, a stunning rebuke of NPR, which is paid for by taxpayer dollars. Supposed to be just a middle of the road sort of, here's what's going on in the world. It's never been.
When I was a Democrat back in the 80s,
I know.
I didn't listen to it because I knew they weren't objective.
Right. It was always supposed to have been a federal source of information that you could get cultural programs, and it wasn't supposed to be a political hatchet job against a candidate or a party. But anyway, so the guy outed him, and then and they said, "Boy, this is great." And then what do you hear? What happened to him a few minutes after that? Also, a federal appeals court says, "Oh no, if a girl thinks he's a guy or a guy thinks he's a girl, they have the right to be a tranny in women's sports."
And you have the solution.
Here we go. I got it would work. If I were a coach, believe me, I would be fielding that team. 4:13, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. It's Tuesday, 106.3. Here we go.
It's time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, XTRA 106.3.
Well, good day, everybody. Maybe it's time for an update on what is racist. Well, that's worthless. As we all know, everything is racist. Video on the internet. Big old fat woman stopped for shoplifting. She resisted. They put her down and put handcuffs on her, all the while she's screaming, "Walmart is racist! Walmart is racist!" Yeah, you guessed it. She was black. But since everything is racist, let's talk about white supremacy. Yeah, that's the big code word right now. We have the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and they are spending big bucks on efforts in California to dismantle white supremacy from math education in government schools. We have a guide that the foundation sent to California teachers, telling them that when it comes to teaching mathematics, getting the right answer should not be the focus. The focus should be on understanding the concepts and reasoning. Okay, children, what's 3 plus 3? It's 8, teacher. Well, do you understand the concept of adding? Yes. Okay, then 8 is right. Didn't Bill Gates build his fortune on something that required exact mathematics? Anyway, the teachers are told that here are some of the elements of white supremacy. Perfectionism, wanting to get something right, is white supremacy. Let me cut to the chase and go to the end of the list. They just don't give me enough time here. Individualism. Yeah, considering yourself to be an individual and not part of some racial identity group is white supremacy. Individualism, always the enemy of leftist politics. Neil Bortz, XTRA 106.3.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Hey there, it's Janelle King, host of The Janelle King Show, right here on XTRA 106.3 FM, where we are unafraid and unapologetic. We explore the topics that matter the most. You can catch us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. and encore episode on Sundays at 9 a.m. And catch up on past episodes by going to the podcast park right here at XTRA 106.3 or wherever you get your podcasts every single Tuesday. Until then, stay unafraid, stay unapologetic, and never stop seeking the truth.
Spring is the perfect time to bring a group out to a game at Truist Park to enjoy great weather and Braves baseball. Come experience the brand new private Jim Beam bourbon decks located on the lower level down the left field line. The Jim Beam bourbon decks have a great view of the field while incorporating a private setting and bar access for your group to easily socialize while you cheer on the Braves. Visit Braves.com/hospitality to snag this amazing new space for your crew this season.
Ozzy's punished another one. Make it 2-0 Braves.
And come experience another brand new space in right field, the Blue Moon Beer Garden, offering the largest variety of Molson Coors beer options and unique food pairings. And there's a special ticket offer for any weekday game during the regular season. Tickets are only $30 and include a grandstand reserved game ticket and $15 added value to use toward food or beverage. A limited number of tickets are available for this special offer, so lock in your seats now at Braves.com/Blue Moon. Atlanta Braves baseball. We are Braves country.
Hey sandwich lovers, today's your lucky day. There's a whole new way to roll for lunch or dinner delight with Nucky's Hoagies in the Roswell Corners Shopping Center. Now open. Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell is family owned and operated by the Sub-Sisters, Stacy and Shannon, whose love language is food and Nucky's Hoagies, their passion. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, along with hunger-quenching sandwich combinations. Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner.
Central Heating and Air Conditioning wants you to know the start of the new season is the perfect time to ensure your home's comfort. Don't wait like most people do to have your HVAC system serviced. Your home should have maintenance twice a year. Maintenance helps keep your system running at peak efficiency and extends the life of your equipment. So turn to Atlanta's Carrier experts for your system's maintenance. With Central, you get Carrier products, Carrier warranty, and Carrier peace of mind. It's allergy season, and Central Heating and Air can fix what ails your house and possibly your family with home ventilation and air quality products. Central has packages designed around health using variable speed, fresh air ventilation, air cleaners, air purifiers, dehumidifiers, and more. Central Heating and Air is one of the few second-generation, locally owned and operated HVAC companies in Atlanta. With Central, you're not just a number, you're a member of the family. It's been that way since 1947, and they've serviced over 100,000 customers right here in Atlanta. Call 770-GET-HEAT or go to centralheat.com.
We're smart, we care. We're Central Heating and Air.
Look out. By the way, we got a song coming up. I think do we have the music of the new song of the Sons of the Stars? We have it coming up. Excellent. How you doing? Look out. 419, Cameron Peyton Flounder. And David Lee Roth, baby. Old David got in trouble on this day in 1993. Mr. Roth was arrested in New York's Washington Square Park trying to buy $10 in a bag of marijuana. The judge said, if you stay clean for a year, we'll let you get away with it. And he did, and everybody's fine. So he went on to have a remarkable thing there. Our birthday list includes Martin Lawrence, 59 years old today, a comedian and actor. I guess he does. Is he a producer? I don't know anything about him. I don't know. Funny, he's been around long. And let's see. On this day in 2003, we were talking about NPR and stuff earlier. CNN on this day in 2003, CNN accidentally revealed obituaries prepared for people who weren't dead. In 2003, they included Ronald Reagan's obituary. He's dead. He died a year later. Pope John Paul didn't die for 2 years. Nelson Mandela's obituary, he didn't die for 10 years. And they printed Fidel Castro's obituary. He didn't die for 13 years. And they printed Dick Cheney's obituary, and he's still living. So...
Is he?
A little. Well, not.
Is he?
We really have the evidence.
We really care?
I don't. Dick Cheney and his goofball daughter. My God. 421 with a Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Just quickly on this NPR thing. The former NPR editor, executive editor, Yuri Berliner, said there was an absence of viewpoint diversity. Last week, he came out with some comments that was just unbelievable, and some high-level NPR executives saying, boy, there's a real problem. It was a scathing piece. The people who worked with Berliner told Fox News that on the condition of anonymity, though, they said he was criticizing their coverage of Russiagate, the COVID lab leak theory, Hunter Biden's laptop, the theory of systemic racism, organizations downplaying anti-Semitism after October 7th. He said the registration records show that pretty much 100% of the entire NPR newsroom is Democrat. Nobody's a Republican. Nobody is conservative at all. And as the host recently attacked their own employer for hiring Republican former committee chairman Ronna McDaniel, remember, and they've got her fired. So talk about, getting rid of anybody who's not a screaming freaking liberal. Well, the longtime insider who did not want to be quoted said the current generation of younger journalists feel they're not being listened to and they're not willing to put in the work needed to hone their craft. Pete, you know this because you studied journalism, and I have a master's degree in this stuff. When I started this business, this guy said, journalism was not seen as a profession, it was a craft. You did assignments, you worked awful shifts, you got to understand the culture of organizations and news paying your salary. Now we have these young generation of journalists, so-called journalists, going into the business saying, hey, I got a degree from such and such university, why am there nobody listening to me? How come my ideas aren't the right ones? And he's saying that's not the way it works. Now, guess what? NPR has now suspended Yuri Berliner, who blew the whistle on how liberal they were. They suspended him after he made his comments. It angered many of his colleagues, announced monthly internal reviews of the network's coverage, gave fresh ammunition to conservative partisan Republican critics, including Donald Trump. This guy wrote let's see, what's his title? David Folkenflick. David Folkenflick.
Be careful.
David Folkenflick. That's what she said. He's the media reporter. And he said, he talked to Berliner, who the suspended editor, said the new CEO is the wrong person for the job. She's a liberal. We're looking for a leader now who's going to be unifying and bring more people into the tent. And that's what America's all about, that Berliner said. And so they got rid of him. They've at least temporarily canned him. I mean, the guy said, it seems to me it'd be very difficult for him now at NPR. I've seen stuff on the internet. He's come out under attack by people who are still at NPR. I think he did this out of a sense of principle. Now they want him dead. They want his family dead. They want to say, I mean, this is these freaking people. They all just go to hell. They're deliberately trying to ruin everything.
Yeah. They want a socialist utopia, and it'll never happen.
God. And speaking of the devil, a federal appeals court, U.S. District Circuit Court of Appeals, has overturned West Virginia's ban on boys being girls. West Virginia passed a law signed by Republican Governor Jim Justice. The law said if you're a boy, you cannot play on the girls' team, basically, okay? The ACLU filed a lawsuit on behalf of an 11-year-old girl at the time. She's now 13. She wanted to compete in middle school cross country, but she could not because of the new state law. The judges of the Circuit Court of Appeals ruled the new law cannot be applied to the girl who's 13 because she's been on puberty blockers and identified her. It's a guy. They ruled the law cannot apply to this guy who says he's a girl who's been on puberty blockers and has identified as a girl since he was in the 3rd grade. Okay, when I read that sentence, I said, okay, hold on a second. This boy's parents were all in favor of giving him puberty blockers and letting him identify as a girl in the 3rd grade?
Abuse.
That's 8.
Abuse.
That's like 7 years old, 8 years old.
Yeah.
Holy crap. And the court said, well, if he identifies as a girl, he's a girl. Half the states, 24 states, have a ban on transgender, fakery. In 2023, the Circuit Court of Appeals and Ninth Circuit upheld the decision to block Idaho's law stopping transgender stuff. I mean, the appeals courts are ruling if you say you're a girl, you're a girl. So I tell you, honest to God, if I were a coach in West Virginia and this had just happened, the team I would be putting on the field for the next women's girls basketball game in my high school or soccer game or anything else would be the men's football team wearing skirts. And I'd have them for a week walk around school in skirts so they can prove that they identify now as girls. I feel like a girl, and I can prove the last week I've been a girl, and I can prove I'm a girl, and maybe have a little bottle showing they were taking gender blockers or something to prove that they really feel this way, and then go into every sports activity and crush them. And every time some girl drives for the basket, you put her on the floor. And every time some soccer girl tries to pass you, you accidentally kick her in the knee while you're trying to block the ball. And by the way, if you're not being offended by me even saying this, you're freaking crazy. How can you let your daughters put up with this? I would not let my daughters put up with this. I mean, it's just outrageous.
They'll be more mad at you for saying that than mad at the parents who have basically destroyed the life of that child.
Yeah. I'm calling for football players to annihilate anybody driving to the basket gets knocked in the head with an elbow thrown to the floor.
Bill Lambier.
Yeah, absolutely. Forearms to the throat, baby. Oh, I stepped on your ankle. Golly, I'm sorry. I was going for the ball.
Crack.
I mean, please. I mean, seriously.
I got no problem with it.
And then, honestly, why are you women putting up with this? Why are mothers putting up with this? And by the way, for the record, let's not forget this. Sometimes we forget this. Boys, you do not deserve to be a girl. Okay, I'm doing my own old-fashioned Kimmer chauvinist thing here, and I'm never changing. Women are special. Women give birth. If we didn't have women, there would be no humanity. One guy could populate the earth. You need a lot of women to populate the earth. You need women. Without girls, there's no birthing. Boys don't. Women are special. The growth of that baby inside a body. Okay, even if you believe it's not a baby until it's born. Okay, let's even say that. The growth of cells growing and turning into a functioning, moving, kicking thing. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. And for that to be growing in there can only be done, naturally by a girl. And the girl gives birth to bring life to that mass of cells, to let it start breathing. And I was in delivery with both my daughters. They were both totally different. But I'll tell you this, if you're in the delivery room when your baby is born, you will never forget it. That first choke of life, that first breath, that, oh my God, this little thing is alive. Oh, I've got to cry.
Well, you say, where are the women? Where are the gay groups? Because this will destroy the gay community. If everybody becomes a trans, there will be no more gays.
Right. Every part of it is wrong.
And we've been told, well, it's natural, and that's what they were born that way, and probably are, and that's the way we should accept it. And then all of a sudden, in one generation, oh, well, screw that then. Really, we're all trans. We're not gay. We're all trans now.
I get it's snowballing. And now it's federal courts are saying if you feel like a girl, you're a girl. If you have a penis and you feel like a girl, you're a girl. You're not worthy of being a girl. Girls are way too special for boys to be girls. I can't imagine. You don't deserve to be a girl. Girls are what keep us going forever. God, I mean, seriously. You
got to hope, like Clay was saying, that there'll be a backlash. These pendulum will swing back a little bit toward the center and to the right and get away from the craziness of this.
And by the way, remember Audrey Hale, that manifesto writing, wrote Audrey Elizabeth Hale is actually a girl, wanted to be a guy, pretending to be a guy, killed 6 people, including 3 little girls at the Christian Elementary School. Remember this happened in March of 2023. The transgender artist, and she murdered those people to make a point that people weren't treating her like a boy or whatever it was, and she had a manifesto. And the manifesto, there were some drawn maps showing the killer's car. Her friends texted a friend warning, saying, I'm about to embark on a suicide mission. You'll probably hear about me on the news after I die. And then sure enough, there was a manifesto, and the people are trying to get it released. And now the family is fighting in court over who owns it. Because when she died, the family, let's see, I got it here. Let's see. The attack claims shortly after the shooting, where is it? Damn it, I hate this.
5, 4.
Judge, 3. But you can't assume. They got to let the cat out of the bag. The attack claimed the lives of prior to the shooting. She texted a friend. They gave the manifesto to when Hale died. Her parents transferred the estate to her victims' families. The families have intervened in public records lawsuit against the city, arguing the estate includes the killer's manifesto, and therefore they want it hidden and they don't want it allowed to be having a copyright. And through this, they're trying to get the judge to block the public release. So the lawsuit is going to be the families who have been given the will of the manifesto are trying to block its release, even though it's a public record, a part of a police case. So here we go. We may never know the full manifesto. And people want to know because it's more about her motive and rage and what these trannies are up to.
If it was a Trump person that did it, we'd all know.
Damn right. If it was a white supremacist or somebody worked at a freaking school board meeting and complained about transgender stuff, every bit of that thing would be released right now. Yeah. My God. 4:31. Sorry, Founder. I'm a little late here, getting worked up. And I haven't even talked about TV and the VA yet. Oh, my God. Kimber Pete Flounder, funny stories. Oh, I can wait. And holy crap, it's sports. We got it all here with the Kimber Pete Flounder. It's Tuesday. Oh, my. It's only Tuesday? Oh, man.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the XTRA 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the XTRA 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
Hey, 4:32. How's it going? It's only me. It's only the Kimber. By the way, tomorrow I have 4 medical things, meetings and exams over the next 5 days. One of them tomorrow for the VA and veteran stuff from Vietnam and stuff like that. And I'm going to bring them a document, and it's going to have the VA wanted from me a document with 2 doctors' names I don't remember. 21 years ago, they want the date, the time, the address, the what do you call the synopsis for the reason for the diagnosis. I can't think of all that. I don't have it. You know why I don't have it? Because I didn't have a safe down in Florida when I retired, and I can't find my records, and they're going to just laugh at me. And here we go again. I needed a safe. I bought 2 safes from Atlanta Safe House. Atlanta Safe House, sponsor this entire hour, by the way, which is, I think, only appropriate. Atlanta Safe House, and I had 2 gun safes, and when I went to Florida, didn't have a safe, can't find the medical. I'm telling you, don't be an example like the Kimmer. Medical records, your social security card. I put that in my wallet and lost that once years ago, too. I'm a bad example of why you should be doing the right thing with Atlanta Safe House. They have a showroom in Ackworth. You can check them out if you're in the area. It's worth checking out. Or go on the web, atlantasafehouse.com. Protecting your assets. These are the Jeff and Mark. These are the guys who only use off-duty firefighters and police and military folks to thank them with a little extra money to do what they do and say, we appreciate how you're helping America. Decades in the business safes, jewelry safes, high security safes. They can build you a vault door. I feel like a banker if you feel like it. They can build you a family storm shelter. Check them out. Pistol safes. They have all kinds of safes for whatever you're looking for. Medical documents, your living will, all that stuff. Things you want, your first corsage from the prom. You know what I'm talking about. Well, they're right there for you in Ackworth with a showroom. And please tell them the Kimmer sent you, protecting all your stuff. Unlike what I did when I was an idiot and went to Florida. Please tell them I set you up with the AtlantaSafeHouse.com.
Is this the year you want to grow your business? Do you want to expand your team? Build a new office? Hey, it's Tug, and I want to tell you about First Liberty Building and Loan. Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you're dealing with a new person? You won't have to with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they can help you too. They know the patterns, they know the ebbs and flows, and they know business. Now the Frost family wants to know you. FirstLibertyGA.com. Buying a building, building a building, buying a franchise, or expanding. Reach out and spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. FirstLibertyGA.com. By the way, if you're a young banker and you want to work with a team that's faith-friendly with a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to First Liberty Building and Loan at FirstLibertyGA.com. That's FirstLibertyGA.com.
Cherokee Run Golf Club is nestled in the rolling hills of Rockdale County and located within the Georgia International Horse Park. Cherokee Run Golf Club was designed by the legendary Arnold Palmer and opened in 1995. Since its opening, golfers from all over the world have played our magnificent course. Through the years, the course has gone through several changes. The latest and greatest is our newly renovated clubhouse. Cherokee Run Golf Club and the City of Conyers staff have been hard at work to make it the greatest it has ever been. Come by for a round today and enjoy our mini Verde greens, Zoysia fairways, and 96 strategically placed bunkers. Utilize our practice facility or brush up on your game with a few lessons from our PGA staff. Let us host your tournament or special event in our new clubhouse. Visit us online at CherokeeRunGolfClub.com to book your tee time. That's CherokeeRunGolfClub.com. Make Cherokee Run Golf Club your home course today and experience the thrill of playing the run.
Introducing Sonder Health Plans, your trusted local partner for Medicare Advantage in Georgia. Only in Georgia. With Sonder, you'll get comprehensive coverage that's tailored to your needs. They offer $0 primary care visits, $0 premiums, and access to a wide network of Georgia healthcare providers. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com now to learn more about their value-based care that won't break the bank. Or call 888-428-4440. Sonder Health Plans, your doctors, your neighbors, your friends.
Oh,
Tweet.
Tweets. Okay, hold on a minute. It's only me, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, 436 with ELO. We like ELO.
Yes, we
nice
do.
Group. ELO 1972 made their debut at the Fox and Greyhound in Croydon, London. ELO was formed to accommodate former Move members Roy Wood and Jeff Lynne's desire to create modern rock and roll songs with classical overtones. Roy Wood departed following the band's debut record. Lynne wrote and arranged all the group's original compositions and produced every album. Jeff Lynne, wow. ELO. Yeah, it's got that kind of full sound of orchestras, and it's a new, different kind of rock and roll in 1972. Especially in 72, there's a lot of hippie stuff, and
no, we're past hippie. Now, it was like Eagles and stuff.
Well, I guess
it was
true.
Boring time.
Well,
Zeppelin was around.
That was a lot of Grateful Dead and all that stuff was still going on, weren't they? In 72.
Zeppelin was what was ruling.
I guess
back
then.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to get back into life in 1972 after the Marines and stuff. 438, Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. Here's a birthday list. Includes Peter Billing. What?
How's that working out for you?
Well, it's working out great now.
Okay, keep going.
I swear to God, I'm taking a hostage.
Keep going.
I'm really going to take a hostage. Your Honor, he said he was going to do it. You can't hold him accountable, Judge. He said he was going to do it. People should have known.
The writing was on the wall.
Well, you told him. He said it right out loud. I'll leave me alone. Oh, God. Peter Billingsley is 53 years old. Christmas Story.
Yeah.
Peter Billingsley.
See, he's gay. They would have made him a trans kid.
Oh, my. Is he gay?
Yeah.
Well, and they would have, yeah. Probably at that age, 50, yeah, right. Good Lord. And on this day in history, I know I got something here we can do. Here we go. It's kind of a sports thing, though, Pete. We have sports coming out in about 40 minutes or so. 1922, Old West frontier showgirl Annie Oakley. 1922, Annie Oakley wows a crowd when she hits 100 clay pigeons in a row to set a women's record. Back when women were actually women.
Have you ever seen a photo of her?
I've seen her in the hat and the kind of the straw vest or the
beautiful
the fringe.
woman.
And, yeah, good looking woman. And she was all cowboy, man. She was a tough chick. 100 clay in a row, targets in a row. 439. Every Friday, we got a great tweets thing coming up here and a couple of musical songs. First, a special treat for the Kimber, Pete, and Flounder. It's Every Friday Susan. Hello, Every Friday Susan.
Hey, guys. So just two quick points. So I grew up total tomboy, played with the boys all the time, tackle football, baseball, you named it. And between the ages of 6, 7, I would say maybe 8, close to 9, I dominated, and I mean dominated the boys in every sport that we played. But by the time I got to be, 9, 10 years old, even the boys, for instance, in baseball, that I was striking out easily at the age of 6, 7, and 8, by the time we were 9 and 10, the boys that were doughy and not real athletic, they were smacking home runs off me by the time they were 10. The other thing is, as far as what Pete was saying about, gay groups not being outraged, it actually is there. It's something called Gays Against Groomers. You may have heard of it.
Yeah.
It's a national organization. They do have a local chapter here in Georgia that you might want to see if you can get a spokesperson on board. But the problem is, with that organization is the media does not cover them, and if they do, they're white supremacist fascists. And then the other thing is they are censored by social media as being hate content. But it's literally a group of what I call, quote, normal gay people that think what people are doing to these kids is disgusting.
And by the way, just for the record, I don't know anybody. I don't have a single friend that I know of who actually has anything against being gay. If you're gay, you're gay. I mean, it's just, if you're born that way, then it's like being born with green eyes. What are you going to complain about? Say your genetics, So I mean, nobody's, but this whole business with the trannies and the discrimination is just nonsense. And Gays Against Groomers sounds like a great organization to try to set the record straight and get things back to just a normal track again. God.
They stole started getting on the scene about 3 or 4 years ago. Actually, Tucker, when he still had a show, interviewed the woman that's the national president several times. But like I said, they do have state chapters. It's just that trying to get, break free from the media and the bias and the censorship is hard. And the other thing is, too, with the trannies in particular, they have such a loud voice, but it's such a small amount that it literally squashes anything that what normal people have to say, whether you're straight or gay. I mean, grooming a child is just disgusting.
Yeah, a squeaky wheel. But again, now let me ask you this. Are you as amazed that when we stop and think for a second and say, wait a minute, where are all the women's groups? How come housewives and mothers all over the country aren't saying, wait a minute, I don't want my girl to be playing against a guy on the basketball court? I mean,
I'll do you one better. Do you remember when Trump got elected and they had that women's march on the Capitol?
Yeah.
And there was tens of thousands of women supposedly fighting for women's rights and all this nonsense.
Yeah.
Not a peep out of any of them. Not a peep out of, hashtag Me Too. Not a peep out of any of them.
Yeah. It's amazing. The hypocrisy, and even worse to me, Susan, is the cowardice. I don't know why why are they refusing to stand up and do what's right? You're talking about your children. How could you not do anything in your power for your children?
Well, like I said, the trannies have a very loud voice, and it's not just hypocrisy, it's fear. Look at J.K. Rowling. Look, they're going to put her in jail. But she's got the power.
She's got money.
The money to push back and say no.
Yeah. Thank God.
Yeah. It's a shame, but you might want to look into that. It's called Gays Against Groomers.
Thank you. Every Friday, Susan. And every day is every Friday with you, Susan, anytime. Thank you, sweet girl. We really appreciate you. What a great lady. Just smart and witty and charming and not, just one of a good person.
Gays Against Groomers, are otherwise known as GAG. And
yes,
and it's been pointed out that Peter Billingsley is not gay, according to these reports. I saw some a few years ago where he was talking about being gay. So now he's engaged. He's got a girlfriend.
Thank God he didn't get it cut off then. If they would tried to groom him back when he thought he was gay, maybe before.
But it looks like he's straight.
Yeah, he's been married since 2015, and he has 2 kids.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't mean.
Yeah, I know.
Well, at least we set corrected.
He's straight, so I stand corrected. Or set corrected.
Okay, well, that's all right.
And we got a tweet here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, here we go.
Jeffrey.
Okay, go ahead. Jeffrey
Tubin decided to weigh in on Twitter today.
Quick background, Jeffrey Tubin.
No.
Okay.
No background.
All right, here we go.
Here's what he tweeted. In oral argument today, Justin Thomas is minimizing the severity of the January 6th insurrection at the Capitol. Perhaps that's because his wife was part of the conspiracy. What a disgrace that he's sitting on this case. To which Megyn Kelly responded.
How did Megyn Kelly respond?
Hi, Tubin. FYI, you waived your right to use the term disgraced about other lawyers when you took your blank out of your pants and blanked off in front of your colleagues.
And by the way, I know this is wrong. I know this is wrong. And you probably
don't admit to anything.
If you take any cartoon of people in the car, a man and woman sitting on a couch, or a little boy coming into a room, or 2 people riding a bicycle, or any cartoon at all, and don't have a caption on it, pretty much any cartoon you can imagine in your mind, all you have to say is one guy telling another, Jeffrey Tubin whipped his penis out on Zoom.
That's the caption.
It would make you laugh with anything. Guys playing golf, talking to each other. I mean, honestly, when the first time I saw that, I thought, oh my God. And he's now going public with comments?
Yeah.
What an idiot.
Next time there's a lull in conversation anywhere, I just say, oh, by the way, remember when Jeffrey Tubin pulled his
whipped this thing out on Zoom? Oh, my
I should have known.
God.
I should have known that our resident Christmas story expert would know the full facts of the situation.
Yes. Well, there you are. Anyway.
The man that knows it, like Caddyshack?
Yeah.
Scott knows every line of the Christmas story. It's amazing.
Right away, your magnificence.
You know what? Bill Sheehan asked me that. He goes, does he really know all the Caddyshack? I said, my God, if they didn't have Danny around,
trust me,
they'd do the whole movie.
We used to we'd talk each other home while I was driving doing lines. It's 4:45 already with a Kimmer Pete Flauta. Look out, here we go. Stamp it. You haven't said nothing yet, baby. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Over the weekend, a series of articles in the Sunday Atlanta Journal-Constitution that were interesting. There's a surprise. And they weren't about race. Another shocker. What were they reporting on? The problems getting an operator on the line when you dial 911. There is an industry standard for 911 emergency call centers, and that is that every 911 call should be answered within 20 seconds. But it's not working that way in the metro Atlanta area.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on XTRA 106.3 or listen anytime on the XTRA 106.3 app.
Pack your bags and join the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets football team in Dublin, Ireland as Toe meets leather to kick off the 2024 football season in Dublin. The Aer Lingus College Football Classic will feature your Yellow Jackets versus the Florida State Seminoles in a special Week 0 matchup on August 24th, 2024. Don't miss this unique opportunity to visit one of the world's most popular travel destinations while cheering on the Jackets on a global stage. For travel packages, tickets, and more information, go to gt2ireland.com. Sting 'em.
Tax season can be stressful, but it's also a wake-up call. It's time to think beyond April and plan for your future. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we're not just advisors, we're your partners in building a secure retirement. At Master Plan Retirement Consultants, we understand the challenges Georgians face. That's why we offer personalized strategies to maximize your retirement income, minimize taxes, and ensure you never outlive your assets. Join the Master Plan family and let us guide you through every financial milestone. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your appointment today. Master Plan Retirement Consultants, where your journey and destination are both important. Visit masterplanretire.com to schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Advisory services offered through Master Plan Retirement Consultants, Inc., a registered investment advisory in the state of Georgia. Insurance, tax, and commodity services offered through Fricks & Associates, Inc., DBA Master Plan Retirement Consultants. The aforementioned are affiliated companies.
My name's Jeff Criswell. I'm running for U.S. House of Representatives, Georgia's 6th District. I'm a Republican. I'm very conservative. I'm sort of a middle-of-the-road kind of person, which I think in Georgia District 6 is really going to work to my advantage because it's a very diverse district. You know, if you ask me right now, the big issue is immigration. Also, the cost of living. My goodness. The numbers are crazy. It's so much more expensive now to live, to go buy groceries, to buy gas. We've got to do something about the cost of living, and I believe that all of that is linked to the national debt, which would be my third sort of an issue here. We've got to stop spending money that we don't have. The reason I think people should vote for me is because I am brand spanking new to this business. I am going to bring a very new perspective to this. Go over to jeffcriswell.com. That's Jeff Criswell, CRISWELL.com. Hit that donate button. Help us out. By all means, we want to partner with you because we can win this district.
This message is paid for by Jeff for Georgia 6.
Cherokee Run Golf Club is nestled in the rolling hills of Rockdale County and located within the Georgia International Horse Park. Cherokee Run Golf Club was designed by the legendary Arnold Palmer and opened in 1995. Since its opening, golfers from all over the world have played our magnificent course. Through the years, the course has gone through several changes. The latest and greatest is our newly renovated clubhouse. Cherokee Run Golf Club and the City of Conyers staff have been hard at work to make it the greatest it has ever been. Come by for a round today and enjoy our Mini Verde greens, Zoysia fairways, and 96 strategically placed bunkers. Utilize our practice facility or brush up on your game with a few lessons from our PGA staff. Let us host your tournament or special event in our new clubhouse. Visit us online at CherokeeRunGolfClub.com to book your tee time. That's CherokeeRunGolfClub.com. Make Cherokee Run Golf Club your home course today and experience the thrill of playing the run.
Here we go. Whole lot of love. Oh, man. Oh, boy. Cool air. All right.
Back to school.
Led Zeppelin, baby. Look out. Here we go. 450. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. What are you going to give you now? Well, how much you going to give, baby? How about a whole lot of... That's what I was thinking. Led Zeppelin, 1970, single Whole Lot of Love, certified gold in America, selling over 1 million copies, peaked at number 4 in the singles chart
In Britain, Atlantic Records expected to issue the edited version themselves and pressed initial copies for release in December of '69. But band manager Peter Grant was adamant that the band maintain a no singles approach to marketing their recorded music in Britain. And he halted the release of the single. They would only sell albums?
Yeah.
I guess, huh?
Peter Grant was an imposing dude, man.
That would just make more money and get forced to buy. It's like, they didn't sell singles for.
Well, the Beatles were all singles. They didn't care about albums.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, if you were buying, tracks and stuff for your car, somebody finally said you can start buying single records, and of course, then you went to the downloads and everything else. Anyway, the music. Guys like me who lived through the whole experience of 8-track tapes and cassettes, and AM radio, and anyway. That's the world's funny, man.
Wireless.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's talk about that. I now have to sign. Okay. I'll get to the VA thing. I now have to sign up for a whole other thing with apps and passwords and Wi-Fi. God, all right. A birthday list includes America's favorite pimp, Anthony Blinken. Also happens to be the Secretary of State temporarily, 62. A freaking pussy liar. I mean, it's just scumbag. Yeah. And on this case in, let's see, a history list where I just had one here. Oh, my God, what was I going to tell you here a minute ago? And here we go. Oh, let's do this one. I got one. I got a million of them. 1975, after 5 years of a bloody civil war, the Khmer Rouge rebels took control of Cambodia and renamed it Kampuchea. Then they started their brutal reign of terror, 1975. All right, you remember the names Prince Sihanouk and Phanom Kittikachorn?
Yes. Oh, my God. It's been a while. Yeah, that's been a long time.
Oh, my God. That came back to me this morning when I was writing this stuff down. Oh, my God.
Got breaking news here.
Breaking news.
Not good here, but it's at least not really bad. No. Ozzy Albies is on the 10-day injured list with that fractured toe. He was hit by a pitch last night, so he's been gone for at least 10 days. They have brought up David Fletcher, who's a utility man. It's why they have him around. David's pretty good MLB utility man. So
now it's broken, not turf
fracture,
which is probably better.
Probably better than turf toe, I would imagine. Yeah. I've never had either one of them, so I don't know.
And I was a running back and a middle linebacker guy, ran all the time, and I never, thank God, never had. Oh, thank you, never had one. And thank God, because you can't run. I mean, you literally can't survive. You can't do it. So anyway.
Top around on one leg.
It's not good. 4:54 almost already with the Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. How's it going? A couple things. Let's do some news, some song stuff. We got newsy stuff. Let's do song stuff. And about Paul McCartney and John Lennon's sons have released a song called Primrose Hill. Fans are praising it as a beautiful track. They bear an uncanny resemblance, James and Sean's new duo, to the resemblance of their fathers, who co-wrote the song, a follow-up to James's song called Beautiful, which he penned with Paul McCartney. Sean is 48, the second child of John. James is Paul's only son, the youngest child, welcomed with his late ex-wife, Linda Eastman. James, 46, shared the news of the release alongside a selfie with himself and Sean looking eerily like their parents. And they wrote, Primrose Hill is here today. I'm so very excited to share my latest song co-written by my good friend, Sean Ono Lennon. Flounder, if you would, sir.
Always remember Primrose Hill, Primrose Hill. I'll always remember Primrose Hill, Primrose Hill. You disappear forever. Forever's a long word.
I tried to pick the sound. I kind of like it. It doesn't remind me of modern rock and roll at all.
It'd be nice every once in a while these guys do something a little upbeat, you know, no more dirges and sad songs. Please, because something upbeat so you can dance to or something. I don't know, man. It's all the same. All those sounds, it's the same thing. Their daddies did it, and now they're doing it. It's all the same.
But it's not a particularly slow song. It's not.
But it's not.
Yeah.
We need something more like this.
Something alive. And they keep repeating.
Look. There we go.
Yes. Please.
Tell me, baby.
I saw her standing there. Something.
Yeah.
Everything's not depressing, for God's sake.
For God's sake. You know,
Everything's not dystopian.
Yeah. I want to hold your hand. I mean, all that good stuff.
Do you?
The old days. By the way, speaking of music, 4:56, we'll try to pull this off. Actually, do we have time for John Cougar Mellencamp, Messy Pants?
Yes.
John Messy Pants, well, I didn't like when he turned liberal. John was doing a thing the other day at a concert, and the crowd started yelling at him, and he had a problem, and the original word that came out was that John Mellencamp had started talking about how much he loved Joe Biden, and the crowd turned on him, so he quit. Well, that's not what happened at all. As it turns out, that's how social media can change things. Anyway, first of all, John Mellencamp, John Cougar Messy Pants, was doing the show, and then he was talking, I think, Flounder, you said what about it?
I saw on Twitter, he may have been telling a story about his grandmother or something like that, and when he had paused, someone in the crowd said, just play the music.
Right, so, and do we have here's what actually happened at the concert.
Yeah, real quiet.
And the booing was for the guy, I guess.
What do you think I'm into?
Yeah.
Sucker. Now, here's the thing, man. You don't know me. You don't know me. Hey, Joe, find this guy and let me see him after the show. Guys, I can stop this show right now and just go home. Tell you what I'm going to do. Since you've been so wonderful, I'm going to cut about 10 songs out of the show. Here we go. A little ditty about Jack Diane.
Yeah, but... Hold on.
Show's over.
Show's over. He walked out.
What a jerk.
Well, no, wait a minute now. And then he would later return to finish the set. But he was making a point.
Because he's a jerk?
Well, yeah, he is kind of a jerk. But again, he was making the point. The guy, when the guy was screaming out, play some music, and Mellencamp said, "What do you think I've been doing, you C-bomb?"
Well, was he lecturing him about Biden before that?
No, I don't think so.
Because he does that.
I know, but again, it was all he was talking about his grandmother, and some guy said, "Play some music. We don't hear about your stupid grandmother."
He's talking about his grandmother. Okay, yeah. I can see why he'd be upset.
He said you're being rude. He was saying you're being rude. It's a concert, and what the hell are you doing? I mean, that's all. And again, if you're a rock guy for 40 years, you're asking for rock people, and so yes. What you got, but still, it just seemed kind of a bizarre thing.
Some music.
Anyway, do we have time for? Probably don't have really time for a thing, or do we? We'll do two next hour
on the other side.
We'll do two next hour. This is a weird story. A woman named Jessica Daly works for the Garden State Parkway as a toll collector. She has her own booth. Friday morning, she got wakened out of bed at 2 o'clock in the morning. Gut feeling said, oh, my God, something's terrible. It's going to happen. 4 o'clock in the morning, she bolted out of bed. Oh, my God, I'm going to be in a car wreck. So strong, she said, I called into work sick. I'm calling out of work. I can't do it. 4 hours later, a garbage truck slammed into her toll booth at the Barnegat Toll Plaza where she does her job. Creams the toll booth, sends people to the hospital. She said, oh my God, I dropped to my knees and started crying. I was praying to everybody being involved, thanking God for I got the feeling to call out. I started getting a lot closer to God in the last 3 months. I believe 100%. God was looking out for me, a guardian angel telling me not to go and to protect her. Mother said, guardian angel told her, don't go to work. And 4 hours later, boom, bam.
What's that?
I'll tell you what.
What's that? Leave an hour early?
No.
Oh, I got to go.
5 o'clock already. Kermit, Pete, and Flounder. You feeling lucky? Well, are you, punk?
WFOM and W292EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. This hour is presented by Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches.
The president hits the campaign trail. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News, kicking off 3 days of events in battleground Pennsylvania by taking aim at his predecessor.
He's coming for your money, your health care, and your Social Security. And we're not going to let it happen. Can't let it happen.
Telling a crowd in his hometown Scranton that former President Trump embraces failed trickle-down policies. This as the former president is tied up in court in New York, where he's accused of falsifying business records to cover up sex scandals before the 2016 election.
This trial is a disgrace.
The former president telling reporters it's election interference. Many potential jurors have been dismissed, but 6 were chosen on day 2 of the trial, and opening statements could begin Monday. The U.S. Supreme Court hears a challenge to a Capitol riot conviction in a case that could force the special counsel to drop some charges against the former president.
Justices questioned attorneys over the intent of a law passed after corporate scandals that makes obstructing an official proceeding a federal crime.
Would a heckler in today's audience qualify, or at the State of the Union address, would pulling a fire alarm before a vote qualify?
Justice Neil Gorsuch and other conservative colleagues appeared skeptical of how federal prosecutors are using the statute in hundreds of prosecutions of Capitol riot defendants. The government's attorney acknowledged the novel use, but argues the circumstances surrounding the riot cases haven't occurred before.
Fox's Jared Halpern in Washington. The impeachment articles against Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas are now before senators who will be sworn in as jurors tomorrow, when Democrats could try to dismiss the trial.
Senate Republicans vow to stop all Senate action unless the Senate completes the trial. It's about the math. It only takes 51 votes to dismiss.
Fox's Chad Pergram on Capitol Hill. America is listening to Fox News.
Hear that? The sound of water being poured on 800-degree rocks. If you were here in this sauna, you'd be so hot you wouldn't have the energy to move. But you're not here. Because your self-care happens out on the road, riding your motorcycle protected by Progressive. Besides, after a long ride, a helmet sweat is way more satisfying. So if you ride, switch to Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer, without even breaking a sweat. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states.
You know, since 9/11, the Tunnel to Towers Foundation has been committed to supporting our nation's first responders and veterans. They support America's heroes like U.S. Army Major Jonathan Turnbull. Now, Major Turnbull sustained devastating injuries at the hands of an ISIS suicide bomber. Tunnel to Towers gave him a specially adapted smart home designed for his needs. Join Tunnel to Towers. They're hoping all of us will donate $11 a month so this great work continues. Their website, the letter T, the number 2, the letter T.org.
Rough. Let's get it together, ladies. Left shoulder, right of blank. Ready on your dog, target. Help there, about road guards out. Help there, look out. It's only me. It's only the Kimmer 503 with Pete Davis and Flounder at the controls. 106.3. Here's the number 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Our 5 o'clock hour brought to you by our good friends at Lee Brand Jewelers. Luxury jewelry and watches are affordable. Drop by their store in Sandy Springs or go to LeeBrand.com. Great to have you aboard. It's a beautiful afternoon. It's like 80 degrees again here. Holy smokes. Nice to be with you. A lot of things going on in the news. Donald Trump's been scolded in court. The judge says, I'm not going to take this if you start snickering and looking at witnesses and stuff. You little punk scumbag. In fact, we talked to Clay Travis joined us at 3 o'clock for a while. He was doing a show from our studios today. He's had to go to Seattle. He's traveling around. And we were talking about jury nullification. He got slammed. He's being called a traitor. They said he should arrest him on federal charges of conspiracy to try to, affect an election or of a jury in a federal trial against a president. So, I mean, it's unbelievable. I believe in jury nullification because all those Trump trials are a crock. This business with him, this is a trial based on business practices. This Stormy Daniels money cover-up business, it's a business rule. It's never been. In fact, you heard Gorsuch in the Supreme Court talking about the Jack Smith cases, saying, well, these laws have never been used like this before. This insurrection law, he said, well, if somebody yells out loud during a meeting and we have to postpone the meeting for a minute and then we bring it back in, was that an insurrection? Stop the people's business. I've been saying the same thing every time. They did the same thing every time these Jew-hating liberal Democrats, the Democrat Jew-haters, when they interrupted the Senate the other day, last week, they stopped the Senate's business. They went in the cafeteria, made people leave and stuff. They were insurrectionists. They stopped the government's business. Mm-hmm. So how can they get Donald Trump? He wasn't even there. And by the way, the last thing he said was peacefully. Anyway. Okay, 505. Let's see what else we got here. You got so many things. Supreme Court, again, maybe is hearing a case that will affect whether insurrectionists include people just walking through the place. A federal appeals court has overturned West Virginia law signed by a Republican governor. It said if you're a boy, you cannot pretend to be a girl and play on girls' sports. Well, no more. A federal appeals court, a federal district court of appeals, has overturned preventing boys from pretending to be girls. And again, I'm telling you, if I don't know why you women aren't going nuts about this. I don't know why every mother of a daughter isn't going nuts about this. I don't know why every man isn't telling his son, what are you kidding me? You don't deserve to be a girl. Girls are special. They have a vagina which produces babies. They have the ovaries, which produce, they have a uterus to produce. I mean, if it weren't for that, I'm serious. I mean, again, be offended at what I'm saying. You ought to be offended at what the hell's happening. I'm saying these things deliberately. Say, how could, get guys in dresses to play basketball against these girls and knock them to the ground every time they try to take a shot. And then maybe somebody will get offended. Jeez, I mean, what's the matter with everybody? I mean, seriously. Yeah. I have another question, too. All right. How many times, how many times does it take before you realize when you're waiting for an elevator that there might be somebody getting out of it first? Almost every day when I get out of the elevator, I start to get out and there's a guy there or a girl, somebody right there at the door. And then they go, oh, sorry. And I go, oh, excuse me. So why don't you know that? You could, how come if it only happens once in your life, you remember, oh yeah, I remember I bumped into the guy. I should just stand back a minute. I mean, how could you not learn that lesson after one time? You should say, oh, God, I guess I got to stand back from the door. And these people, you think that today, it happened today. You think that's the first time this guy was, deliberately forgot to wait for someone to come out? I mean, I don't get it. It's just,
I'm glad that you waited till drive time to bring up such an important, life-changing topic.
I'm sorry.
I always step back. I always wait.
You have? I mean, anyway. And
there's another thing that you learn. Every once in a while, that elevator door will open, and that elevator ain't there.
Yeah, you're right. So another be careful.
How many stories do you hear about a year somebody stepped into an elevator shaft?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
I never jump right on. I always make sure the damn thing's there.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
508 with the Kim Pete and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 404-741-1230. Oh, mercy. All right, I got my TV up. And by the way, last night I could watch, let's see, I wrote down my notes of what I could watch. Last night I could watch, well, now I can't find it. Oh, here we go. Kojak, girls playing billiards, and America's Worst Criminals. They had like 19 or 20 or 20, 30, or 40 channels of criminal and crime stories, and I mean, murder. It's just unbelievable. And no live stuff. I think you could get live streaming, but it wasn't like newscast.
Do you have streaming? No?
I think it's called Live ABC Now or something. And it's just their ABC newsrooms just going straight through news stories. When I did it yesterday before the thing came in, before a guy fixed it, he fixed it this morning. Before he fixed it yesterday, I could put it on, and it was all wall-to-wall coverage of the Hamas thing.
Did you have them set up Netflix?
I can get Netflix. It has a thing on the bottom of my screen that says Netflix, and I have to sign up with an account number and a password. I mean, I have to do whatever you have to do. I don't know how to do it, but it's on my listings. So I have but here's the problem. Okay, by the way, and I have a new TV, and it's all set up, and so the picture's great. Everything's fine about that. But the guide, this is unbelievable. New technology. The guide, and if anybody knows Comcast, if you remember at least the old Comcast guide. Let's say you're looking for what's on television.
You're looking for what's on television.
That's not what I meant when you say it. Okay, if you're looking for what's on TV tonight at 8 o'clock on channel, on Fox, 8 o'clock tonight on Fox, and the old Comcast guide, if you hit that guide thing again twice, it would show you what's on for the next several hours. It would line up a list of every time it would show hours and hours and hours of what's on that channel. This guide for the new thing, you can't do that. Yeah. When you have to go one at a time to see what's on next. So here's the problem.
You probably can. It's just not the same feature as double tapping the guide button. There's probably
I don't know what. But it's not on my. There's no thing that says like the other. That shows to do that. There's no double clicking. I tried double clicking the guide button. It didn't work.
Again, that's what I'm saying. It's probably something else than double-clicking the guide button.
But again, I don't know these things. And secondly, for example, let's say if I'm going out of town, let's pretend that I'm going out of town for the weekend.
So close.
I know. And I want to set my I want to see what's going on Tuesday and Wednesday. If I go to, there's a little button called C on my old remote, a little letter C, and if you hit that C, it shows you what's on Wednesday. Hit it again, shows you what's on every single day. Those are no longer available on the new technology. So in other words, if I want to find out 4 days from now what's going to be on, I have to go click 1 hour at a time for 4 days?
Yes.
I mean, what the hell kind of advancement is that?
It's still about as long as what's going on right now.
Jesus, I mean, seriously.
This topic is killing
I'm
me.
supposed to make it easier. And again, I'm telling you, I'm going through a thing, you guys, everything, all these little things, all of a sudden now, this is madness. And I'm upset and I'm angry about it because I don't know how to work it. I don't know what to do to find out what I can do to watch my own stupid television.
All you have to do is ask Siri.
Oh, that doesn't. I mean, she's never around. Those things don't work. Ask Siri what? I don't even know if I have that.
Ask her anything.
Well, what? Siri, ask her anything? All right. Let's see. Yeah, there's no button. You just yell it. Okay. Siri, what time is it?
You turn your volume down?
Oh, I turned my volume. Oh, that's what I did. God. Oh, you had maybe turn it off. Oh, she put it. She texted me 5:11.
Yeah, she says it too.
All right, hold on. I'm going to open it up again here. I'll pause for a second. Hold on. Here we go.
Okay.
Here we go. Siri, what day is it?
It's Tuesday, April 16th, 2024.
Ah.
Huh. So, well, anyway.
Let's go.
So you have to call her if you want to find some.
But don't get her mixed up with Alexa.
Well, what do you mean?
Well, bad things happen, as we're about to hear.
Bad things happen?
Sooner or later, it's going to happen.
She's always listening, I guess.
Yes, she is. She's always. I had no idea how to do it.
Let me ask you this. Siri, are you always listening?
I respect your privacy and only listen when you're talking to me. You can learn about Apple's approach to privacy at apple.com.
Siri, are you a liar?
I'm not programmed to lie.
Oh my God, she's arguing with me.
Alexa will argue with you too.
I think she's listening all the time. I think she's smarter than I think she is. Maybe this could happen.
Alexa, how's the weather today?
Who is Alexa?
Sorry, I meant Siri.
Who is Alexa?
Never mind, just tell me the weather, please.
Why don't you ask that bitch Alexa to tell you the
weather? The other night I'm sitting on the couch and I said, Alexa, what time is it? And to my left, Alexa told me, and to my right, Siri started talking to me.
What time is it?
Yeah.
Oh man, I tell you, I'm toast. 5:14 almost. Holy crap! It's sports is next. Kipper, Pete, and Flounder finding the new technology. God.
Atlanta radio legends collide on XTRA 106.3. The legend Neil Bortz is live every week with Atlanta legend The Kimmer. Because when you get these two guys together, who knows where we'll end up?
I am shocked. Well, not that shocked.
The Kimmer is live on your drive home every weekday afternoon from 3 to 6. And now Neil Bortz joins the show every week. And if you miss it, catch up anytime on the XTRA 106.3 app.
This is Dan Watkins with All Four Seasons. We've always been Atlanta's best at installing and servicing garage and entry doors, but you would be surprised at how many windows we've installed as well. So we're proud to announce a new division, All Four Seasons Windows. We now have the ability to make sure every opening in your house is safe, energy efficient, and looks darn good. So give us a call today to schedule your free sales consultation. Find out how you can decrease your energy bills and increase the beauty and value of your home with All Four Seasons garage, entry doors, and windows.
Hey, it's Lowe's. Let's talk about Howard Brothers and Echo. Hard work is always better when you're doing it with a friend, and Echo Power Equipment is a friend that you can trust to hang with you during the most grueling outdoor projects. Echo is designed to last for many years if properly used and maintained. Speaking of friends, Howard Brothers is where you need to go for Echo Power equipment. They don't just sell it in a box like the big stores do. They assemble it, they gas it up, and they show you how to properly use and maintain your equipment. The grass is always greener when you take care of it with Echo and Howard Brothers.
Well, Sally, thank you for your time, but unfortunately, we can't offer you the position.
But why?
Well, we got the results of your background check, and we saw some red flags.
Like what?
Apparently, you were accused of dog-napping a Chihuahua named Mr. Cha-Cha.
Mr. Cha-Cha was my soulmate.
At Horizon Background Screening, we find things that other companies don't. That's why companies that use us make smarter hiring decisions. Don't let the wrong hire put your company at risk. Get the real story on your candidates at horizonscreening.com.
My name is Amy Risley. I have been working for Bruce Hagen for 17 years. When I first started, my boys were 4 and 6, and whenever I needed, Bruce allowed me to bring them to our office. Bruce has always treated us like family. And 17 years later, I still love coming to work for Bruce Hagen. Just recently, a friend told me they hear Bruce talking on 680 The Fan. They asked me if he was as nice as he appeared to be on air. I smiled and without any hesitation answered, he's even nicer in person. I'm Amy Risley. I work for Bruce Hagen. Let Bruce Hagen work for you. Hagen-law.com.
Hey there, it's Janelle King, host of The Janelle King Show right here on XTRA 106.3 FM, where we are unafraid and unapologetic. We explore the topics that matter the most. You can catch us on Saturdays at 4 p.m. and encore episode on Sundays at 9 a.m. And catch up on past episodes by going to the podcast park right here at XTRA 106.3 or wherever you get your podcasts every single Tuesday. Until then, stay unafraid, stay unapologetic, and never stop seeking the truth.
Returning to Metro Atlanta, April 26th to the 28th, the Mitsubishi Electric Classic, presented by Venture, is Georgia's only PGA Tour Champions event. Enjoy local craft brews and scenic views of the par 3 11th hole and an exciting atmosphere at the Perch. Pick your favorite hole to watch along the ropes or find public seating throughout the course. Children 15 and under receive complimentary tickets with purchase by an adult. Join the party at TPC Sugarloaf in Duluth, Georgia. Tickets available at MitsubishiElectricClassic.com/tickets.
Oh my God! They just showed a video on TV of that earwax stuff, and they showed what comes out of your ear into the bucket. Oh my God! Oh, jeez. Coming up, how can Jew haters stop a valedictory speech? The Golden Bachelorette star lies again about what it means. But first, holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Ozzy Albies on the 10-day IL, a fractured toe hit by a pitch last night. It's his right, it basically hit him straight on his
Saw
right
it coming
foot.
in, and it was right there.
Oh, not good. They brought up David Fletcher from Gwinnett. He's a good utility man. He is not going to start tonight. Luis Guillorme will be at second base. And guess who's going to bat second, where Ozzy would be?
Wow. Duvall?
No, Michael Harris II will bat second, which he's done before, and that's good.
That's good.
At some point, he's going to be up there anyway. Yeah. Braves in Houston again tonight after spanking the Astros 6-1 last night. And once again, Marcell Ozuna is the man with the plan to please the fan.
1-0, a flare to left field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. It'll score a run to make it 5-1. Well, they don't all have to clear the wall. That time he had a bat flare into left field that dropped in for a hit. Another single for the Braves. That's now 5 this inning. And that extends the hitting streak for Ozuna to 14 in a row.
Ben Ingram was 680 The Fan there with the call. Reynaldo Lopez for Atlanta tonight against Hunter Brown, who is a right-hander for the Stros. Darius Vine started last night, went 4 2/3 innings, gave up just 1 hit and 1 earned run, and deserving of another start. Darius was on the Cellini and Domino show this morning, and what a nice young man. Very humble, very well-spoken, someone you can easily pull for.
Excellent.
So, good to hear. Aaron Bummer, the win in relief last night. Braves erupted for 4 runs in the 9th and put the game away. Jesse Chavez pitched the last inning. Atlanta leads the league in doubles, had 3 more last night. At least they were leading earlier this weekend. They were leading. Hall of Fame manager and thorn in the Braves side, Whitey Herzog, has passed away.
No kidding. Oh, my God. What a character.
92 years old.
Oh, my Lord. He was a tough cook. He didn't mess with Whitey Herzog.
He was a protege, basically, of Casey Stengel. That's where he learned a lot of his stuff.
Oh, my God.
The founder of Whitey Ball emphasized stealing bases, bunting, hit and run, and small ball on the artificial turf in Kansas City and St. Louis, mostly St. Louis.
Bounce it off the rubber.
Yeah, led the Cardinals to 3 National League pennants and a World Series title. Crew cut, pot-bellied, tobacco spitter. Usually had at least one power hitter in the lineup like George Hendrick, which I loved his batting stance. It was so close.
The ostrich, what do they call him? The goose or something?
Neither one of those, but he had a closed stance that the pitcher probably drove the pitcher crazy. Yeah. Or Jack Clark.
Yeah, Jack Clark he used to twist his back foot in the dirt to the side as the pitch was coming in. He would take his stance. I used to say it all the time. Take a stance. When the pitch come in, he would do this, and you could see him cock that back foot, and that's what started his swing. The damnedest thing.
It was the speed of Vince Coleman, Willie McGee, Ozzie Smith, the slap hitting of Ken Oberkfell and Tommy Herr, and of course Hall of Fame closer Bruce Sutter to seal the victory for the Cards. Herzog attended opening day this year at Busch Stadium. He was drafted as a player by the Yankees as a center fielder, but soon realized a boy the same age as him was probably a little better. You know who that boy's name was?
Playing for the Yankees?
Yeah.
Probably Mickey Mantle.
Mickey Mantle.
Yeah.
Mickey Mantle. Whitey played for the Orioles, Senators, KC Athletics, and the Tigers. Says, baseball has been good to me since I quit trying to play it. Whitey's real name was Darrell Norman Elvert Herzog. Wow. And I just remember something that I talked about the other day. Okay, who has the most wins of any Major League pitcher in history of Jewish extraction of history?
Bob Feller? Oh, no. The lefty, Sandy Koufax.
No. Ken Holtzman, who just passed away, had 9 more wins.
Are you serious?
Of course, Sandy retired early.
Well, yeah, he retired at 30
Arthritis, 31 or something like that.
Wow.
The last surviving member of the Boys of Summer is gone. An icon of the 1950s Brooklyn Dodgers passed away this morning. Former All-Star pitcher and World Series champion Carl Erskine.
Oh, my God. I remember him growing up as a kid. That was my team. 51, 2, 3, 4.
The Dodgers?
The Brooklyn Dodgers.
Why weren't you a Red Sox fan?
I lived in Fayetteville, New York. That's why we were Brooklyn
Dodgers.
Oh, my God.
He's 97 years old. Brief illness. He threw the first televised no-hitter. He was nicknamed Oisk by the Ebbets Field fans. Oisk.
Toid.
Pitched in 5 World Series, won 6 National League pennants, spent the most of his career in Brooklyn, and pitched the home opener for the Dodgers in L.A.
I'll be darned.
And we also got, where do we find it here? They all come in thirds here. Former Alabama quarterback and college football coach Steve Sloan has died. Sloan won 2 national championships playing under legendary coach Paul Bear Bryant. Sloan was 79, began his career at Bama as a backup to Joe Namath. The Crimson Tide won the SEC title and the consensus national champions at that point. Sloan returned as a starter in 65 and led Bama to a second straight SEC title and national championship. He had a short stint in the NFL with the Atlanta Falcons as a quarterback. He also was the offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech. He was the head coach at Vanderbilt and Texas Tech, and then took the job at Ole Miss in 78, spent 5 years there. And I remember when I was a kid, I saw a magazine, one of those college football magazines. It was Athlon or something like that. And they said, well, Steve Sloan's there, so Ole Miss is now the #1 team in the country.
Oh, no.
And even us Rebels, I was a kid, we laughed. I was like, are you kidding me? We won 5 games the year before, something like that. Wow. Anyway, he closed out his career, coached at Duke in the 80s, also the AD at Alabama, Central Florida, and UT Chattanooga. So we lost 3 of the big ones there.
Quite a career.
Nick Saban will make his ESPN debut since retiring from coaching by joining the experts on NFL Draft Night in Detroit, coming up at the end of this month. It's going to be weird this year not seeing Chris Mortensen, though.
Yeah, again, boy, that really struck me. What a nice guy he was when I was in a very bad time, and he came out of nowhere and remembered me, and I couldn't believe it. Just a nice man. Really touched me.
Michigan will serve 3 years of probation, pay a fine, and face recruiting restrictions after the university and 5 current and former football employees have reached an agreement with the NCAA enforcement staff, recruiting violations and coaching activities, also including a 1-year show cause order for the individuals. It also involves former Michigan coach Jim Harbaugh, which is another portion of this case. He's with the Chargers now. It'll be considered separately by the committee, and then they'll determine the full decision about what goes on there. They can't really punish him anymore, but they can punish the school.
Punish the school.
6-time NBA All-Star and former Rookie of the Year Blake Griffin retiring after a 14-year career. In a related story, Blake Griffin was still playing basketball.
You know, when you mentioned that name, I remember when he broke on the scene. I remember when he was in college, and all of a sudden, oh my God, this guy was a wild man.
Oklahoma
I don't
State, one of those.
remember. Yeah, but I thought, man, and then the first year or two, and then
he was injured at
he got
first.
hurt, yeah, but man, he was a force.
He was for a while there. Masters choking enthusiast Rory McIlroy is vehemently denying a London newspaper report that he's about to jump ship from the PGA after all that squawking to the LIV Tour for a paycheck of only $850 million American dollars.
Oh, man.
McIlroy says he's totally content with falling short of expectations on the PGA Tour for the rest of his career.
I don't think he said that.
Yes, he did. Remember when he burst on the scene?
I know.
He's
he was
got
a kid. I know.
4 majors.
I know. He should have 10.
Yes.
Really. He would,
and he will never win the Masters because it's in his head. You saw it the very first day it was in his head.
Yeah. And I'll tell you this, if I had a swing of a driver that I could copy, it would be Rory McIlroy.
He's amazing on that. Masters champ Scotty Scheffler celebrated by closing his favorite dive bar in Dallas, Texas early Monday morning wearing the green jacket.
Who was this now?
Scheffler.
Oh, Scotty Scheffler.
He went back to the pregnant wife. He's very religious.
He's
went
very
back.
religious.
And
thank God for sorting him out. Yeah.
And obviously she said, go out with the boys.
Drunk. Well,
you imagine walking into your bar with the green jacket on? Holy cow. On this date, April 16, 1935, Babe Ruth made his debut with the Boston Braves with a single and a home run off Carl Hubble, Hall of Famer.
Oh, wow.
Screwballer, lefty. The Braves beat New York 4-2. I just saw a picture of it. In fact, here's a picture right there. Can you see that? Of him crossing home plate?
Look at those uniforms.
There's nobody in the stands. It looks so sad.
It looks like a practice.
It looks so sad there. In fact, that looks like the old field, Nicholson Field or whatever. Where did the Braves? They had Braves Field.
Oh, I can't remember.
And it was over there by one of the college campuses, way back in the back bay. But it looks so sad there. There's hardly anybody there.
Yeah.
And he's overweight and everything.
Wow.
1977, regulations force A's pitcher Vida Blue to throw away his old discolored Lucky hat because MLB says it no longer looks in color, trim, or style to everybody else on the team.
Yeah.
So they pitched it out. Oh, we got Nate's joke. You ready for Nate's joke?
Nate's joke. Hey,
Nate's
Nate,
joke
what do you got for us?
Here we go. Here. All right. Why don't chickens make good baseball players, Kimmer?
Well, because they lay too many eggs on the field, I'd say.
They can only hit foul balls.
Foul balls, ladies and gentlemen.
Foul balls.
Dear God. Yeah. By the way, a couple of sports things here, Pete, if you don't mind. 1967 at the Western Open Skeet Shooting Championship. You ever done skeet?
Skeet.
You ever shot skeet? Shotgun shooting?
I don't believe I have.
Flounder, have you ever done skeet shooting? Oh, he's in the... Are you in the back?
He's hiding.
You ever done...
No, I have not. Never skeet shoot.
And by the way, we should one day, we've got to find...
That would be fun.
Now that the weather's nice and it's not wintertime, we need to get somebody out in the middle of nowhere in a farm someplace where we can go take a bunch of my guns and go shoot water bottles and Coke bottles and tin cans and just blow the crap out of everything we possibly can see, like a dump somewhere or
that's the
up
only...
against a cliff. I mean, a safe place. I mean, no wildlife or anything.
That's the only negative about where I live. I got a whole valley, but they don't like shooing in the valley.
Yeah.
But a friend of mine up there has a cabin amongst a bunch of other cabins, and they just go out and shoot inside, up against the bank all the time.
It's much fun as anything, shooting Coke bottles and stuff like that, and to see what happens and stuff. Anyway, one of these days. So on this skeet shooting thing at the Western Open Skeet Shooting in 1967, Ken Barnes, the first man ever to score a perfect run, 400 for 400, with all 4 gauges of his shotgun, the 12 gauge, 20 gauge, 28, and the 410. The only shooter to do it with pump action guns too. Hit them all.
Damn.
All 4 different calibers. 1940, baseball's opening day. This had never been done before. Cleveland Indians beat the Chicago White Sox opening day, 1940. Bob Feller pitched not only the first shutout on opening day, the first no-hitter on opening day.
I thought there had been one since then. No?
Well, at that had never been done before. It may have been done afterwards. I don't remember. 1968. Speaking of the majors, the longest night baseball game ever. Houston Astros against the Mets. 1968. 24 innings, 6 hours and 6 minutes.
You know how it ended?
No.
After all that, a ball went through the shortstop's legs.
Oh, and the guy scored on an error. Oh my. 1985. Major League Baseball reinstated Mickey Mantle after he was banned for years for associating with gamblers. Basically.
And now what's going on?
Yeah. Mickey Mantle, because they were hiring these guys at nightclubs.
They stand at the front.
The greeters. They were greeters.
Willie Mays.
Yeah. Willie Mays and Mickey Mantle, these guys got in trouble. I got a couple more. We got a second here. 25 years ago, the great one, Wayne Gretzky, announced his retirement from the NHL in 99. And in 2003, Michael Jordan played his last NBA game as a member of the Washington Wizards. Michael Jordan scored 13 points, but they lost to the Philadelphia 76ers. And John Madden retired on this day. 3 decades after leaving the booth, he was 73 in 2009. Anyway, there
he retired 3 decades after leaving the booth?
Well, I got that wrong. I wrote it. It's a whole, he's gone. He died anyway, didn't he? He's not going to sue me. Is he still living? I don't know.
He passed away last year.
Years ago. Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, 5'3".
You're so close to all those facts.
I'm so pretty.
You're so pretty.
I'm so pretty. 5'30". I'm so pretty. The legend Neil Bortz is only on Extra 106.3. Hey, it's a camera. How's it going? Here's what you missed from the Talkmaster.
Over the weekend, a series of articles in the Sunday Atlanta Journal-Constitution that were interesting. There's a surprise. And they weren't about race. Another shocker. What were they reporting on? The problems getting an operator on the line when you dial 911. There is an industry standard for 911 emergency call centers, and that is that every 911 call should be answered within 20 seconds. But it's not working that way in the metro Atlanta area.
Catch Neil's commentary every day on Extra 106.3 or listen anytime on the Extra 106.3 app.
What is spacious? Has a versatile cabin, offers an intuitive voice assistant, and luxurious accommodations for up to 7? Meet the 2024 Mercedes-Benz GLE 350 4MATIC SUV. The advanced GLE SUV leaps further ahead with turbo hybrid power, fresh styling, and even more innovative technology. Experience the 2024 GLE 350 4MATIC SUV and lease one today for just $839 per month for 36 months with $63.53 due at signing, exclusively from RBM of Atlanta in Sandy Springs. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this vehicle and many other models. Visit today to see how to qualify. Special lease rate available only to qualified customers exclusively from Mercedes-Benz Financial Service through RBM of Atlanta Sandy Springs through April 30th, 2024. Excludes tax, tag, title, and Georgia lemon law fees. Contact RBM of Atlanta for details on this and other exciting offers, or call us at 770-390-0700 for details.
Hey homeowners, Tug here with some exciting news. Southern Exteriors is your one-stop solution for top-notch exterior services, from roofing to siding, windows, gutters, and more. No more waiting. They can start on your project immediately. And with an in-house warranty division, Southern Exteriors stands by their work for years to come. From leaky roofs to faded siding, trust Southern Exteriors for a quick and lasting transformation. Don't wait. Transform your home today. Call 877-9-SOUTHERN or visit southernexteriors.co now. Southern Exteriors, quality and precision you can rely on for over 20 years.
Hey sandwich lovers, today's your lucky day. There's a whole new way to roll for lunch or dinner delight with Nucky's Hoagies in the Roswell Corners Shopping Center. Now open. Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell is family owned and operated by the Sub-Sisters, Stacy and Shannon, whose love language is food, and Nucky's Hoagies, their passion. When you bite into a Nucky's Hoagie, you'll taste the difference. The softest hoagie rolls ever, along with hunger-quenching sandwich combinations. Make Nucky's Hoagies in Roswell on Woodstock Road your new favorite spot for lunch or dinner.
No one plans on going to jail, but at A Second Chance Bail Bonds, we believe everyone deserves a second chance. That's the driving force behind everything we do. If you or a loved one has been arrested across town or across the country, you need help now. A Second Chance Bail Bonds works fast with bondsmen throughout Atlanta to help expedite release within hours. A Second Chance. It's better to know us and not need us than need us and not know us. Call A Second Chance 24/7 at 404-BAIL-OUT. That's 404-BAIL-OUT or online at atlbail.com.
Introducing Sonder Health Plans, your trusted local partner for Medicare Advantage in Georgia. Only in Georgia. With Sonder, you'll get comprehensive coverage that's tailored to your needs. They offer $0 primary care visits, $0 premiums, and access to a wide network of Georgia healthcare providers. Visit SonderHealthPlans.com now to learn more about their valued-based care that won't break the bank. Or call 888-428-4440. Sonder Health Plans, your doctors, your neighbors, your friends.
I didn't get my other comedy bit in. We'll get one late in the show, but I didn't get the other one I promised I would get in. I've been failing my duties.
Duty?
Yeah, duty.
Said duty.
And the phone. It's the Stones.
Little by little.
Little by the Rolling Stones, 1964. Their first album was released in Britain, went to number 1 2 weeks later, stayed on the chart for 40 weeks, 11 weeks at number 1. The American edition of the LP, though, with a slightly different track list, came out on London Records in May of 1964, which was a couple weeks after this day, obviously, subtitled England's Newest Hitmakers. And that became its official title, but not in Britain, just in America. But again, they had to, market something. So that, made sense at the time.
They're starting their tour in Houston pretty soon.
That's right, with the new what's the new song or the new medley or whatever they got the new album coming out. Yeah,
came out in December. Right on top of the
far
situation.
Back. I don't remember what I had last night for dinner. If I didn't do the same thing every night, I'd never remember.
Hey, you got a new TV when you get home. Remember that?
Oh, but I can't believe the technology on the guide. My God, you have to go 1 hour at a time to see what's going to be on. What's today? What's this? Tuesday at 5:30.
Tuesday.
If I get home at 7 o'clock and start making dinner, if I'm watching the channel 8 o'clock, if I want to see what's on at 3 in the morning, I can't double click it once and see. I have to go 8, 8:30,
Yes,
9, 9:30, 10 times. It's unbelievable.
Gwendolyn has some advice for you.
Shut up, baby, or what?
She says, and she outed herself, not me. I am 75 and will be 76 in September. Haven't watched real TV for several years. We use Fubo. I have Fubo. Amazon Prime and a few others. It isn't that hard. You are just making it hard by resisting it, said the actress to the bishop.
Yeah. Holy mackerel, Father.
Just think to yourself.
Hey, sister, how much?
Just think to
$5, Father.
We're destroying poor Gwendolyn's note here. Just think to yourself, if everyone else can do it, you can too.
No, I can't.
It isn't rocket science. Once you embrace it and try it, you'll be amazed at everything you can watch. Ditch Comcast.
Yeah. Okay, let me just have 9 people coming over and figuring out how I'm going to get apps and passwords and things. I mean, my God, I just want to watch television.
Fubo's simpler than Comcast.
God. Well, so now I got it. All right. Okay. So I spent my morning doing that while I'm trying to work from home, and I've spent the morning with this guy in there doing all this stuff. And then tomorrow I got a medical thing. I got 3 more medical things in the next 4 days after that. And then I don't care. I just don't care. It's too much. I'm
all you need is Netflix, frankly. All you need is Netflix.
Well, what if well, never mind. I got a couple of sports birthdays here. I forget to. Bill Belichick, former. Is he going anywhere?
No.
He's gone, right? It's probably over. Anybody?
I don't think it's over, but
even any inkling of social media?
Maybe next
sports
year.
Business? Yeah. Anyway, Bill Belichick, 72. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, formerly, oh my God, I forgot his name.
Lou Alcindor.
Lou Alcindor. Oh my God, I'd forgotten his name.
I thought when I was a kid, I thought his name was Lou Alcindor.
Yeah. I forgot I couldn't recall his name for a minute.
Who did he play for the Lakers? Helped him win a championship.
Who did he play?
Who did he play for before the Lakers? Before the Lakers.
Milwaukee.
Yeah, very good.
I knew that.
Who did he play with? Who was his point guard?
The little piston. The little. Hold on. Oh God.
The big. The big.
I can't.
The big O.
Oh, Oscar Robertson.
Yes.
Yeah, of course. The guy. I mean, he was the man.
He was a man. Before Jordan.
Yeah, that's right. He was the man. The big O. Kareem is 77 today. So congratulations. And on this day in history, it was 1947. The inventor named Dr. Frank Black demonstrated his Zoomar lens for the first time in New York, the first lens to show zooming effects. And you started seeing it on the yearly televisions, 1947.
And now your phone has as good a zoom as the cameras you had.
Even better.
Then.
This phone is 1,000,000 times better quality than anything in technology. Anything even today. TV cameras in studios are no better than this, I'll bet you. Well, maybe not true, but I mean, points made, I guess, probably.
Well, people make films on this.
You could, yeah. I mean,
it's amazing.
Absolutely. It's scary. It's way over my head. A couple things. God, 540. The University of Southern California, Jew haters are now changing everything. University of Southern California, USC. Their valedictorian is Asna Tabassum, I think it's pronounced. And the university says it'll be a real risk if she does the valedictorian speech. You see, social media is talking about her because she's the valedictorian, but she's going to give a speech along two salutatorians, and she can't speak because she took an alarming tenor to her social media posts, bragging about pro-Palestinian stuff, the intensity of feelings fueled by social media, ongoing conflict in the Middle East, grown to include many voices outside of USC, escalated to the point of creating substantial risks relating to security and disruption to commencement, so no commencement address by Asna Tabassum, because she has a pro-Palestinian thing and there's going to be hell to pay. The decision is necessary to maintain the safety of our campus and students, and our fundamental legal obligation to protect students, keep our campus safe. Okay.
Do you see this? Molly Ringwald is attacking the late John Hughes films, saying they're very white. Oh,
well,
no.
what?
Did he have the Asian kid in one of them?
Yeah. Oh, it's yeah, exactly. Put his head down from the bunk bed and scared the crap out of her.
Now she's trying to get popular again by going woke.
Oh, come on. I mean, come on.
Please.
It was a different thing. Father Knows, all the TV shows were all white.
We're talking about the 80s.
All right, but still, it was a show about her school. And chances are they weren't going to have a bunch of gangbangers or, fights with the basketball team, which was 4 black guys and a white guy or something. I mean, come on.
And he's dead, man. Don't attack a dead man.
It wasn't even a thing. It wasn't nobody. Who cares? It's like, Friends, the TV show Friends. Oh, well, they didn't have a black guy. Well, it was their coffee thing. I mean, it wasn't. Jesus. I mean, God. Oh, by the way, speaking of, I got time for this thing. I thought, now I'm probably making way too much out of this because as you know, I hate women. No, that's not true. No, that's not true.
You just gave us a speech about how special women are.
I know. But I get into this thing when I remember how I've blown the last 30 years of my life and will die angry and in misery. Do you know this girl, Hannah Waddington from Ted Lasso? You watched that, right?
Big woman.
Flounder, do you know this Hannah Waddingham?
I've heard of the name because of the
you
show
watched
she
Ted
was
Lasso.
on.
Okay, well, here's the deal. She's a British actress and singer, and she was posing for pictures in London. Okay, it's some award ceremony Sunday, posing for pictures in London, wearing a slit dress, slit all the way down from one of her upper thighs on the one side of the dress, slit all the way down. Okay, and so she's posing. They're taking pictures, and then all of a sudden somebody hears her look, a kind of funny look on her face, and someone hears her say, "Oh my God, you'd never say that to a man, my friend. Don't be a dick. Otherwise, I'll veer off. Don't say, show me the legs." Well, what happened was she was in a, quote, stunning lavender dress, layered with a tulle adorned with small jewels, recording the video, saw something was wrong. She walked down the stairs shaking her head, said something else to the photographer. Apparently, the photographer said, we want to show your legs. She was wearing a dress slit up the side, showing her entire leg, and he wanted her to pose showing the slit and the thing with a leg. Now, her fans are saying, "Oh, my God, I couldn't love her more. I love that she stands her ground and will not let people treat her like crap." Another, "Oh, she's amazing. Good for her to stand up for such misogyny. These paparazzi are such bottom feeders. They're constantly embarrassed about the way they go about their job." And then, wait a minute. Her gown had a defined leg split. The guy was doing his job. He's saying, "Okay, show the leg. And by the way, when's the last time, ma'am, you didn't appreciate photographers making you freaking famous? You and your freaking tours of showing all your body parts and all your pictures and being, oh, I'm so famous because I can read other people's lines, even though I can't do it myself. I can sing other people's words, even though I can't write them myself. But God forbid I show up in a leggy dress and he says, show the legs so I can see the dress, and you turn on him because he's some kind of a what?
Pervert.
I mean, oh my God, that's just nonsense. You freaking hypocrite phonies. I'll bet she's done a couple of couch calls for trying to get jobs.
Allegedly.
I'm just saying, I bet. These freaking phonies. I bet she loves trannies. I bet she loves her little daughter to play against boys in soccer. How about that? Somebody find out of this. What's her name? Waddington? What's her freaking name? Give me her name. I didn't even find her name now. Where's her freaking stinking name? I got it over here somewhere.
Put a head out on her?
Hannah Waddington. Waddingham. Hannah Waddingham. I bet if she's got kids, I bet she loves the fact they want to be trannies. I bet she doesn't give a crap about little girls. How about that? An actress, I'll guarantee you, she's all for trannies, baby.
She's too
I'll
old for
guarantee you
kids.
she wants to have little boys go pee-pee with their wee-wees in the girls' room if they feel like it. You freaking phony. But God forbid they want to see the leg in a leg dress.
That's an extrapolation I didn't think we'd get to today.
Well, we got there, by God. I mean, seriously, where are the women supporting women? You're using it the wrong way. You're just trying to be a bully. She's just trying to say, oh, you want to see my... blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but you don't give a damn about little girls not being boys. How about that? Freaking phony. She's trying to be a bully, trying to be a public bully, saying, oh, I'm tough and you're just a man. Yeah, I could be overreacting to the last time a woman humiliated me. Sure, as possible.
Oh, tell that story.
Oh, it's 31.
That sounds more interesting.
30 years ago, but anyway, 5:45. So I'm getting over it because I married her. It's 5:45. Give her bean flounder. Oh, God. All right, I got to go home early. I'm sorry.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is XTRA 106.3. We're at XTRA 106.3 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at XTRA 106.3 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
What are your plans for your business this year? Hey, it's Tug. Do you want to expand and grow? Aren't you exhausted by going to lenders, building a relationship, and a week later, you got a new person to deal with? You have to start all over again? You don't have that with First Liberty Building and Loan. The Frost family has been helping businesses grow since the 90s, and they want to know you. Unlike big banks, they want to partner with you. The Frost family knows the patterns. They know the ebbs and flows. They know business. Get to know them at firstlibertyga.com. Building a building, buying a franchise, expanding. Reach out to them. Spend 10 minutes with them. See if you're a fit for them and if they're a fit for you. You do that at firstlibertyga.com. And by the way, if you're a young banker and want to work with a team that is faith-friendly and has a culture of excellence, First Liberty might be a good match. Reach out to them today. First Liberty Building and Loan. firstlibertyga.com. That's firstlibertyga.com.
Millions of guys suffer from erectile dysfunction. That's 1 in 4 men. And I can tell you, I'm one of them.
If you or someone you know suffer from ED, Peyronie's disease, or PE, here's 38-year emergency room doctor and founder of Total Body Therapy of Georgia, Dr. Eric Deal.
Patients who enter my office are often frustrated, hopeless, depressed, and embarrassed. I understand the problem, and I'm going to help you fix it. There are lots of competitors that don't have the credentials that I have. When you go to other clinics, you're not going to see a board-certified physician with the experience that I have. When you come to our clinic, you're going to see me. There's just not one therapy that can solve these complex issues. I'll do a complete history and physical prior to any treatment that we use. Take it from me, Dr. Deal. When it's not hard, it's really hard.
Call Dr. Deal for your free one-on-one evaluation and resolve your ED, Peyronie's, or PE issues. Total Body Therapy of Georgia, 404-777-1911, 404-777-1911, online at stopmyed.com.
Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watch Company, where quality and value make the difference. Locally owned and located in Sandy Springs, offering you the finest selection of unique diamonds, sapphires, rubies, and emerald jewelry, as well as other fine gemstones. Lee Brandt Jewelry and Watches has been servicing Rolex watches for over 30 years, and their Rolex-trained watchmaker will service your watch in their state-of-the-art Rolex service center in their store. Lee Brandt uses only genuine Rolex parts, and their estimates are free. Drop by Lee Brandt in the Trader Joe's Shopping Center in Sandy Springs or visit LeeBrandt.com.
Hey Atlanta, it's Ben, host of the Weekend Ben Burnett Show, proudly brought to you by Peach State Pride. Each and every weekend, we bring you all the issues going on around the globe and what America's ultimate role is in order to drive our agenda forward as conservatives. And if you ever miss an episode, you can download everything I've ever done on Apple, Spotify, or you can go to the podcast park. See you around, Atlanta.
My name's Jeff Criswell. I'm running for U.S. House of Representatives, Georgia's 6th District. I'm a Republican. I'm very conservative. First moved to Atlanta, the Atlanta area in 1984. Within the last 3-4 years, I really felt a very strong urge that I believe is from God to get involved in politics. So there's 765,000 voters in this district. So I'm going to need to be able to use sort of some more modern strategies. And for that reason, I am reaching out to people. We need your support. I don't care if it's $10 or $100 or $1,000, whatever you're comfortable with. Also, if you want to volunteer, we could absolutely use you for a volunteer. And finally, a sign out in a yard is worth its weight in gold. If you want to put a sign up, go over to jeffcriswell.com. That's Jeff, Jeff, Criswell, CRISWELL.com. By all means, we want to partner with you because we can win this district.
This message is paid for by Jeff for Georgia 6.
By the way, he's the guy, I think that's where that disgusting hack Lucy McScandal, the fake who didn't even know where she freaking lived when she first got elected for Congress. Lucy McBath used to be in my district. I think they changed her because she was going to lose. So she moved to where she had a better chance. I think that was District 6. So we got to get her out. She's the one who had me banned and blocked off the air and fined and attacked and for stuff I never did. Actually, stuff I did do. But Lucy McBath politically went to the boss of the company that owned the radio station I was working for and had me blackballed and had me. In fact, this is an important to mention. That guy Jeff Criswell, vote for him to get rid of Lucy McBath. She called the president of the company that I worked for, and the president of the company released a statement, a national press release condemning Kim Peterson for comments I made about Lucy McBath being a congresswoman.
Yeah, well, where is she now?
Yeah, well, she's in Congress, and I'm over here.
I mean, the other one.
I hope she's dead. God, I couldn't believe it. Yeah. So screw Lucy McBath. She loses her political influence to ban and punish a talk show host.
That's right.
Well, I kind of took it personally.
I should.
That was Chuck Berry. I'm sorry, Flounder. Musical director. Chuck Berry, of course, known for Roll Over Beethoven, recorded that on this day for Chess Records in 1956. It is said that Chuck Berry wrote the song in response to his sister Lucy always using the family piano to play classical music when Chuck Berry wanted to play pop music. So the lyric, roll over Beethoven and let Tchaikovsky the news, and tell Tchaikovsky the news. We just said it. Refers to how classical composers would roll over in their graves upon hearing the classical music had given way to rock and roll. What a great story, Flounder. What's a wonderful story for a musical interlude here with a Kim Pete and Flounder. Nice going. Oh, speaking of music, I'm going to talk about a musical thing here in a second, too. It'll remind me, make me sad and happy at the same time. First of all, getting a little horny here for Ellen Barkin. She's 70. I'll tell you what, back in the day, no, I know. Ellen Barkin, she's skanky. I'm sorry, she looks like a carrier. But she's 70 years old. She was in The Big Easy, Sea of Love, Ocean's 13.
DOA?
Also, how about Drop Dead Gorgeous? You ever see that movie? What, were they all throwing up over the balcony, a beauty contest thing? She played the mother. She got blown up in an attack of something, and she had her she had her beer can fused to her wrist, so her hand was a beer can with a cigarette. I don't know. Just anyway, God, Ellen Barkin is freaking 70. And happy birthday to Bobby Vinton. Bobby Vinton is 89. If I have no idea, you probably know. Oh my God, Bobby Vinton had the song "Blue Velvet." I think that was his biggest hit. He also had "Roses Are Red, My Dear, Violets Are Blue." When he wrote in my high school yearbook, "You and I love you," stuff like that. And the one that got me was "Mr. Lonely." I'm Mr. Lonely. He wanted a girl to call my own. I wanted a girl to call my own, and that, I'm telling you, that was me in 1963, 4, whatever it was. All I wanted was a girlfriend to kiss me on the mouth. And I was so lonely, and I was all a friend to all the girls because I was a big brother. I was always a protector and the big brother. And I would take
friend zone.
I was a friend zone. And they all loved me. They all came to me and told me everything, and I was on the inside of all the girls, and I protected them, and they all came over to see. It was unbelievable, but God bless them, But
big old Saint Bernard.
That's me, all right. Had a little rum thing around my neck and everything. It was an incredible story. But Mr. Lonely, all I wanted is a girl to call my own. Anyway, whatever. I'm sorry. I'm just, it's old. Well, what the hell? This is all I got. I'm going to go home. Honey, I'm home and have my chicken and potato pops. All right. On this day in 1705, Queen Anne of England gives a knighthood to Sir Isaac Newton. I thought they wanted to stone him.
No, they liked him.
Well, who is Copernicus? That's when they wanted to stone.
He wasn't British, though.
No, he was like
Polish
Swedish,
or something.
Polish, Swedish.
Like Bobby Vinton. He was Polish.
Bobby Vinton. And who was the other one? The famous Polish did the, oh, God.
Lech Wałęsa?
No. The other Polish, Bobby Goldsboro.
John Paul II.
Not Bobby Goldsboro.
He wasn't
No, the
Polish.
other one.
What are you talking about?
The other Polish singer, the rock and roll kid.
I have no idea who you're talking about.
Anyway, all right, hold on. Let me give it a break. A couple of 5:55. I can't believe it. Federal training things. Federal appeals court has overturned the West Virginia law that said if you're a boy, you can't pretend to be a girl and play sports. Well, that now has been overturned by a federal appeals court. Same thing they did in appeals court blocking transgender people in West Virginia. Now also happened in other states. As Ohio's about to become the same thing. And guess what? For the record, a transgender woman who 35 years old, identifies as a vampire, has been convicted of sexually terrorizing a 16-year-old Wisconsin girl who had learning disabilities after investigating for strangling a man to death in her home. Adam Sabrina Helke, a guy-girl, 35, jailed twice for sex offenses against women dating back almost 20 years. She scared the young teen into jumping out of a bedroom window, following her home from a gas station in Wisconsin with a knife, and sexually assaulting her the month before. Or actually the year before. Weeks before that, she admitted strangling a guy to death in Milwaukee, saying, "A friend, I killed him. God can't bring him back as I can because I'm the devil." She was only after she assaulted the 16-year-old and she got arrested for murder because people started talking about her. One of the housemates told the cops that this guy, pretending to be a vampire, was bullying the challenged girl and wrapped a cord around his neck. She was removing his demons. She claimed she was successful in exorcising his demons and was discharged later on administrative release from the police because they couldn't prove anything. Well, they eventually arrested her a second time, and I mean, my God, a tranny vampire. And killed the guy, and a 16-year-old girl jumped out a window.
Say George Soros has just dumped $60 million into the Democrat fund.
He's the one who's funding all these people. You know, all these people, the Jew-hating Democrats,
evil incarnate.
All of those, the bail people, and all those organizations. That's all Soros money. It's deliberate. They're doing it. It's all. It's not a conspiracy. It's real. I mean, it's all planned. It's a thing. It's not willy-nilly. This is not spontaneous. This is part of their program. It's unbelievable. And by the way, a little good note here. The attorney Malcolm Laverne for OJ's estate is taking it back now. He said, "I'll do everything in my capacity to stop the families of Ron Goldman and Nicole Brown from getting a nickel. They're not going to get a nickel, I tell you, if OJ died." Well, he said, Fred Goldman's claim will be accepted. His claim will be nothing. It'll be nothing. And now he says, well, I changed my mind there. He said, "I was mad at the attorneys representing the Goldman family, not him. Within an hour of knowing OJ died, he started talking crap," said Laverne said of the other lawyer. Goldman's lawyer said, my advocate instinct was, "Oh, you're going to keep crapping on him even after he's dead? Fine. You know what? You'll get nothing." Those were my remarks back then, but I backtracked, and they were pretty harsh remarks, and now I'm going in the other direction. So he's going to be fair to the family because OJ owed $33 million. And if he had any money, he's going to make sure the family gets some because that was the law. But he said the attorneys were acting like sharks and, ambulance chasers, and he was ticked off, and so he said so, and I don't blame him. Golden Bachelor star. So Teresa Nist, the chick, they got divorced after 3 months of even living in different states. And she says, "Oh, I took so many positives from the experience, amazing, wonderful people in the moon, and I'm asking you to, with express love and so forth, you're such wonderful people being, if you're confused and angry and don't understand, please try to find it in your heart to understand and try a little kindness, not just for me, but for the world and for everyone you encounter. After being a bunch of crap for doing this phony freaking old people find love." Yeah, wouldn't that be nice? At the age of 78, wouldn't you love to fall in love again? I guess that's probably real now, isn't it? Let me just take an example of this TV show. Oh, golly. Well, it really didn't work at all, did it? I bet you can make out with 24 different women. Hell, I'll take that. And then call it a day. Crap. I'm going to shoot somebody. It's 5:58. Flounder, how about a little something?
According to this website, there's only one gift. Only one gift is appropriate after someone has just had an abortion. And that is a succulent. Do you know what a succulent is? Because I had to Google that too. If you don't know, a succulent is a desert plant. It's like a cactus. It's a plant that doesn't need water. It's a plant that gets its nutrients from the air. Give her that. I said, absolutely not. I would never do that to my friend Jessica. I would never be like, oh, here you go, Jessica. Here's something else you never have to take care of.
Just selling it. Every freaking bit he does is like
something else.
Oh my God. Anyway, except for 5, I gotta go. You're killing me. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. Tomorrow we do it all over again, boys. Herp, look out.
Start your day the right way with Tug, Rhino, and Los on the Morning Extra. Every morning from 6 to 10 a.m. on WFOM Marietta, Extra 106.3.